Oh, I could have sworn that was a much bigger beer.
Well, it's like a little ice thing, so it keeps it cold. It's the best birthday present ever.
Seems pretty dope. I don't drink enough beer,
to have
warrant having one of those.
Me, on the other hand, not so much. Today's podcast not brought to you by,
Unfortunately,
PBR.
PBR.
Becca, G, you can't have beer.
Oh, that's always just as bad as it needs to be.
But today is opposite day, so...
Shit. You want me to clean that?
Nah, it's fine.
You sure?
Yeah, just like pat it.
Pat
you
it.
know?
Okay. Dog in the face.
Don't encourage her. She'll keep playing. Underachievers Podcast. This is the first time without Cody.
Right?
Cody made it very clear that it was alright that we did this.
Oh, did he?
But we need to do it again with all of us.
Oh, we do, for sure.
And I think he said that you guys have work off on in September or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's our next shared day off.
Yeah. And I was like, I will plan it right now.
Make that shit happen.
Exactly. So, I did not prepare any questions whatsoever. I should have prepared questions.
I was unprepared entirely for literally everything we were doing.
Yeah.
The only thing I have is a note in my phone about a potential D&D skit, and it's literally garbage.
Literally garbage or actually garbage?
A little bit of both.
That's fair. Yeah. I think that's the one thing that I always try to think of is how can I make a D&D skit that doesn't involve an entire game and or group of people.
So I was actually thinking about that, but it was a really awkward place in our texting conversation for me to reply. So, all your skits, you are multiple people in your skits.
Yeah.
All you have to do is just wear 5 different shirts and put on 5 different personas and film at 5 different angles, and you have a D&D party.
That's true. It's not the weirdest thing. Winona. Acting crazy, man.
Doing the flips.
Yeah, there's actually a skit that I'm going to do, or a video that I'm going to do that's should push her off. She'll keep doing this. That once again I'm wearing the wig, which I think hasn't been done enough.
Oh god. It both hasn't and has been done more than enough.
Yeah, just the once I think.
Yeah.
But I'm stoked. I have had probably 2 good ideas for a video in the last 2 weeks.
So why didn't you do 2 videos?
Because one of them involves someone throwing me beer, then the other one is this one. But it's tough. I've legitimately have been a creative block. Mm-hmm. But this video that I kind of got the idea for, I think is so solid that it I was writing all day, not all day, but last night I had the actual urge to write stuff down and picture scenes. So I think, at least for the moment, the creative juices are back.
There we go. That's what I did. I think it was last weekend. Mm-hmm. I was just all right, all my plans have been canceled. What am I going to do? Not hang out with Marco, because why would I do that?
Yeah.
So I sat down and I'm okay, I have this entire thing to edit. And then 5 hours later, I'm 19 pages through. And then the next day, I rewrote 30 pages of stuff I already had.
You rewrote?
I rewrote
most of it?
Yeah. Rather than taking the paragraphs I had and editing them to be the story I wanted, I was okay, I'm going to look at this paragraph, enter, and then rewrite a new paragraph with that paragraph as the basis.
I gotcha.
I just did that for 30 pages.
It's not the worst way to edit.
No, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
It was very time consuming.
But the first thing I did was all right, I'm going to put a comment on this paragraph and this paragraph and this paragraph and this paragraph and this paragraph. By the time I had comments on every paragraph for 2 pages, I'm I'm just gonna not do this because
rewrite it.
Yeah.
Scrap it.
Now I'm just waiting for feedback, and then probably rewrite it again. I'm also writing a new story.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It was horror based, I might have just skimmed through comments.
Yeah. So the theme that I want it to be is horror.
Yeah.
But it's based off one of my favorite lines from 21 Pilots song. And not necessarily a line of the song as much as just like the theme of the song.
Yeah. So it's not an actual line. It's
well, what I did was in my brainstorm was I took the lyrics for the song and pretty much used the lyrics to guide the way that I want the story to flow. Because the song itself kind of tells like a story of how hope leaves as night comes, and then as the sun comes back, there's hope again and stuff
what song
like that.
is this?
Semi-Automatic by 21 Pilots.
Oh. I couldn't pretend to know what that song's about, but now I guess I know.
Yeah. And so, like, I wrote one page that was essentially like the backstory prologue for this world that's plagued by monsters that cause people to commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just going to revolve around this dude and his coworkers as the monster starts feeding on him and his experiences with it. And right now it's just really depressing.
Yeah.
But I want to throw more horror aspects into it. And I feel like that's what
less depressing, more scary.
Yeah. Yeah. But I haven't.
It's the ultimate like trickery, you know?
Like, hey, here's this horror story. Actually, you're going to come out of it wanting to kill yourself or be really inspired. It's either or.
Yeah. It's a 50-50 shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's where I'm at now. 5 pages deep.
And it's just sad as shit.
Just sad as shit. Except for the one office scene where I have my character hate one other character for absolutely no reason other than it's just a dude.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that is very
Me?
Yeah, it's like the most you trait ever. It's like, dude, why don't you like that? Well, he's just
I just don't like his face.
you know, he's a person.
Yeah.
He does that thing where he like exists in
Right?
this
I hate
universe.
it. It's terrible. He shouldn't do that.
Yeah, what a dick, dude.
No, it will. Just shouldn't exist.
You know, I've actually only written one like horror, I guess horror based thing ever, and it's supposed to be like a short film for like a zombie, like zombie type movie, you know, Outbreak or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it.
Everyone's got a fucking zombie idea.
Yeah.
Everyone has one.
I think it's not even based on the song, but it's called The World at Large, which is like a Modest Mouse song.
Okay.
If the world's at large, how do I remain? Something like that. But I'd follow like this guy and this little girl, and it really just came from like an idea of a shot where you'd be like running past like this like alley where you know how it's always like fucking lit from behind for whatever reason. There's one bright light in this dark ass alley
behind a dark alley.
There's a fucking chain link.
It doesn't make
fence.
sense. It's
Yeah.
always like there's a car just facing you
Exactly.
far away. But that's not how alleys usually work.
No. And then like, you know, obviously they would run by and you would just see the shadow. And like I always thought like that'd be super dope where you have like little kid, guy, zombie, just like lit up by that shadow. And then it would do that thing where it's like, oh, it shows you a little bit of the end and then back to the beginning where this all began. And then of course one of them dies and then it's like a very tragic moment.
Have you seen what's it called? There's a new Netflix zombie movie with Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman, no.
Bilbo Baggins. It's really good. It was a very interesting and new take on zombies. It was one you don't really get to see. Like sort of that acceptance of the idea and like the precautions that they've taken as a government. Like that you're given, like as soon as you know you're infected, you put on a watch and that watch counts down the time of you turning into a zombie.
Oh,
and
fuck.
Yeah, it's about...
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. And the worst part is the dude is literally traveling around with his baby while he's wearing this watch.
That's rough. Is Martin Freeman the main guy?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I definitely will watch that now. You know what that kind of reminds me of? Not even kind of related to zombies, but the Black Mirror episode where they were like couples and then they would know how long they were how long they would last.
That was such a good episode.
God, fuck. You know, like, okay, so like in no way, shape, or form do I have like any sort of like second thoughts or like scared that my relationship will end. I mean, obviously there's some sort of fear that has to exist, but just like having that like notion where like you would know like, oh
Dude,
shit,
that would be terrible.
Yeah, man.
There's a number of different short films where it's like, oh, you have this number on your arm, and that's going to tell you how long you have left to live.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like I'm
Hard
straight.
pass.
Was that
Hard
Time
pass.
by Justin Timberlake? Or In Time?
I mean, that was a movie, yeah, but
Yeah.
I've seen like a short film version of a similar thing. I think it was like a Korean short film or something. God, In Time was terrible. Justin Timberlake and Amanda Seyfried.
You know, Justin Timberlake can do a lot of different things. I'm just not sure if he is a blockbuster actor.
Oh, God,
You
no.
know? You can sing and dance all day.
Yeah.
But, like,
If that's your
maybe
thing.
blockbuster movies aren't, like, your thing, man. I'm sorry.
You,
And I think, like, that was when Amanda
Seyfried?
Seyfried was not, like...
No one knew who the fuck she was.
Yeah, like she was, like, always that, like, ditzy character.
Yeah.
So then, like, in
'cause
that
she
movie...
was coming off Mean Girls.
Yeah, like, and then in that movie, she's, like, serious, and you're like, nah,
Nope.
I don't...
Hard pass.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hard pass.
Yeah, I don't believe
Concept's great. Execution, could use some work.
it. Cool, yeah, very cool concept.
Yeah.
Especially, like, when they
The
did a thing where they can
exchanging of
exchange.
time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was...
Smart.
You know, like, when they were writing that shit, I don't know if it was one person or a group. I always just assumed there's, like, a group of people in a fucking think tank.
Usually.
They were
I
like...
mean, very rarely I can imagine, like, a sole person ever being the cause of writing something.
Yeah. There's got to be someone that's like, yo, you should probably, like, you know,
Right?
take... I guess that's the editor.
Yeah.
But, okay, so, yeah, like, I imagine, like, they were in, like, the little think tank where they were like, yo, what if you could, like, have them, like, do this thing, and then they, like, exchange time, and then that could be, like, a little plot device. Because I don't think it happens too much to where it's, like, super significant, even though that might be, like, the end plot of the movie.
Well, I mean, that's how they get paid, right? Is they get paid in time.
No, well, yeah,
Isn't
but
it?
they, like, do the little scanner thing and then
do
give
they?
them time. I think so.
Since I've seen that movie.
Right? I don't know, dude. I watch other movies 300 times. I don't think I...
Yeah, right? Like, that I don't think that
I got other shit to
cut anyone's
rewatch.
list. There's a new movie on Netflix that's supposed to be terrible, but it's got Michael Pena in it, so I'm going to watch it anyway.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You know what was actually really... Not really good, but was surprisingly good?
I swear to God, if you say devil.
Get the fuck out of here. I'll fight you on that. I love that movie.
That movie's trash.
The movie's so good. Well, I think, like, I'm a biased advocate for M. Night Shyamalan. Minus, like, Lady in the Water and...
Never seen that.
Maybe The Village is alright. The Village is alright. It's got, like...
To be fair, I watched The Village long after it was relevant. So I feel...
That's fair.
I feel like that twist that it did have was lost on me because of how long it took me to watch the movie.
Yeah.
But, like...
Did you already know what the twist was? Like...
No, I don't think so, but...
It's just too late in the game.
If it was either spoiled for me right before, or I had predicted it, and I didn't. It just...
That's fair.
It didn't hit. And I feel like there's no coming back from Shyamalan after how bad he messed up Avatar. Like, you can't come back from that. Even if Split was fantastic.
Split was great.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Glass looks amazing.
Yeah. I'm all in for that.
Same.
But okay, so like mine like really comes from The Happening. Everyone shit talks The Happening.
I like Mark Wahlberg, so I'm biased when it comes to that movie.
That's really where it's at is Marky Mark. Like Marky Mark can do no wrong.
Right?
And then especially there's that like one scene where like the whole time like it's kind of irrelevant, but it's not because they think they're like dying. Zoe Deschanel is like stressing out about that dude that was like that she had like met for coffee, and there's that scene where it's like, hey, you know, I went out with this dude and you know we just got coffee, and then later on he's like, you know, I went to the drugstore and there's a very attractive like something like some like worker there, and it's like I asked her where the cough medicine was and I didn't even have a cough, and I was like, this is the fucking best line of the movie, and it's a fucking throwaway joke that's just like in the middle of nowhere, and I was like, this is why this movie is great.
Yeah, dude,
underappreciated.
I don't remember shit.
No? So
that.
if you just watch that movie just to see that line, you'll appreciate it so much. You'll like see it and you're like, Oh, that is a really good line for no reason.
That sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But good. In a good way.
Yeah. I love that movie, though. You know what's actually fucked up? So, like, not a funny story, but, like, so my brother passed away, right? Right after, like, me and my family, like, all got together because we were, like, hanging out a lot at that time.
Yeah.
We were watching movies, and I was, like, I had just bought it just because it was, like, one of those, like, $3 movies. And I was like, oh, like, let's watch this. And then, like, it's all based around suicide. And I was like, you know, maybe this wasn't the best movie to watch right about now. But in my head, I was just like, oh, dude, I love this movie. And then, like, as I was watching, I'm like, oh, this is really fucked up. Like,
Dude,
this is, like...
That is the most ironic shit.
Yeah.
If I'm even using irony right. But that's...
Yeah. That was, like, funny in, like, the worst way. But
yeah.
I just like that movie. I'm sorry.
It's underrated for sure. I think people hate on it just because it had a poor, like, twist.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's... I don't know. People like fucking the B movie, and they're like, oh, it's Mother Nature. And it's like, oh, so when Mother Nature tries to kill you, you're like, that was dumb. B movie's better.
Yeah, but I mean, like, didn't some dude, like, lay down in front of a lawnmower in that movie? Like, I feel like that moment was enough for me to just be like, oh, shit.
Yeah, well,
and then just tune in.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's so many good parts of that movie. Like, homegirl that takes, like, the glass to her. The bodies falling from the sky from the construction workers. Huge spoiler alert on The Happening if you haven't seen The Happening yet.
20 years later.
But yeah, there's like a lot of good like scenes. Like, I think that's like something that he does very well. Like,
he's a good director.
Really compelling scenes that like prove the point of his stories. You know,
like he's always been a good director. It's just when he
fucked up Avatar. How dare you?
He got too caught up in the idea that every one of his movies needs to have a Shyamalan twist. He can just write a movie and not have a twist. What if that was his twist? That there was no twist.
Everyone's just waiting for it, and then like the movie ends, and I'm like, oh, that just ended.
That was just a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
Shit.
Imagine M. Night Shyamalan romantic comedy. I would watch the fuck out of that.
Oh my God.
I wonder what the twist would be.
Could you imagine Devil, but instead of the devil being in the elevator, it was your next love.
What the fuck is wrong with Devil? Explain to me why you don't like this movie.
Because everyone knew it was the old lady.
No, get the fuck out of here. No one knew that it was the old lady.
Who are you going to suspect the less? Because that is who you're going to suspect the most.
No.
Yeah.
Nah. I call shenanigans.
Called that shit.
Everybody
calls that shit.
So I've only predicted the ending of a movie once in my entire life.
Really?
Yes. Well, I mean, there's like obvious ones, but like, were you like sarcastic and you're like, oh, this is what's gonna happen, and like it happens, you're like, oh fuck, like that happened.
Dude, I can recall at least 2 times in recent years that I've predicted. Mm-hmm. They were shows, granted, but I've predicted shows.
The ending?
Yeah, spoilers for Mr. Robot. I knew season 1 was fucking Fight Club. His dad was in his head, or whoever the fucking Christian Slater was playing. All in his head. Called that shit. Never felt more proud.
That's fair. So the one that I got, and then we'll get to your number 2. The last Final Destination. The 3D one, maybe. So, like, at the end, they're, like, getting on a plane, right? Or some, like, shit like that. And like, literally, there's, like, 4 people in the movie theater. I, like, turn to someone. I'm like, oh, it's going to be Flight 180 or 151. Whatever, yeah.
The original.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be this. Like, ha, ha, ha. And then, like, sure enough, they do, like, the clip where they're, like, the original scene. And I'm like, oh, shit. I didn't know that was gonna happen. And it was just one of those moments where I was like, this is genius in the fucking stupidest way ever, especially because like it's like Final Destination like 7 at this point,
right? Like they were just, oh cool, we're just
gonna tie it all together.
Tie it all together because that's necessary. You know, that's the thing you need.
It's the sequel prequel. I've learned is a term.
That's a stupid term, but I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I I mean, because The Hobbit's kind of sort of like a sequel prequel.
Yeah,
Think about it, 'cause it came
I
after.
think that's a whole new trilogy.
Lord of the Rings, but it was
It's a prequel, yeah.
It was a prequel.
I don't think it's a sequel to.
It depends on how you. Yeah, it's not a sequel for sure. It's legitimately a prequel. I mean,
What's
could you only
another
call it a
sequel
sequel prequel if it's a fucking plot twist that it is a sequel to the prequel, or a prequel to the original? Like,
I'm getting lost here. Yeah, I'm lost.
I think we're going too deep.
Yeah. Okay. So what was the second one that you've called?
The second one was an anime that I literally just called like a few weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
I started watching an anime, and it was weird because they had an original one in like 2006, and then they remade it, but like it took a different path. And it
was that fucking Pokemon Red or whatever? No,
I'm
kidding. Pokemon Origin?
The anime started out as a visual novel, and it was like an RPG, so there were different paths you can take.
It was like a pick your own adventure.
Yeah, and so this season was a different path compared to the other season. And there were all these little hints throughout the original one I watched and the new one I watched. Yeah. And I was like, this motherfucker is going to be that motherfucker, but from the past. So he's going
to be the past motherfucker.
Yeah, he's eventually going to become that dude. He just hasn't gotten there yet. And I haven't even finished the show yet, but I YouTubed a fight scene because I wanted to show it off and have people watch it because it's a beautiful anime. It's called Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works or some shit like that.
It's literally the fucking...
No, it's an atrocious name. But
terrible.
Like the next time I went to YouTube, there was a video that was like, "How is this person that person?" And I'm like, I knew it. And I felt like shit.
I just spoiled it on myself, but fucking called it. Oh man, that's funny. What's one movie that you love that everybody else hates?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That like everyone just fucking bags on. You're like, nah, dude, it's a fucking decent movie.
That's a tough question. I mean, I love Pirates of the Caribbean, and I don't want to say everyone hates it.
No one shits on Pirates.
I've heard people shit on Pirates of the Caribbean, especially the newer ones.
Okay, well, yeah, but a collective like, nah, that movie sucks. Like, okay, so I'll say mine. It's not my favorite movie. It's like a decent movie. Green Lantern.
I did like Green Lantern. I remember.
It's not the worst movie. You know, in a time where superhero movies weren't fucking like.
Dude, it was Ryan Reynolds and Taika, however the fuck you say his last name.
Yeah, it just wasn't like polished. You know, like the superhero formula.
It wasn't
there. But like everyone's like, oh, it's such a fucking bad movie, and it's like, yeah, there's worse movies.
I remember walking out of that theater like, I'm okay with this. It could have been better, but I mean, I saw it midnight release.
Yeah, give me Green Lantern 2 with Sinestro. I'm there.
Right?
I'm buying tickets.
Well, they're doing Green Lantern Corps, so it doesn't matter.
You think they'll do Sinestro Corp, or they'll do some like stupid like lead into it where it's gonna be like some? Well, it's a Corp movie, so they have to do like. Multiple.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think DC has any idea what the fuck they're doing.
Nah, you know what? I think they finally figured it out with Shazam.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what I mean. Like, they're trying to be a competitive force against the Marvel Cinematic Universe with their own cinematic universe. But then you have the two big ones, which are the Batman and like the Justice Leagues and all that stuff. And they have this really like dark tone. And then you have whatchamacallit, Wonder Woman, which also has its own tone. And now we're getting Shazam, whose tone is completely different. On top of that, Aquaman, kind of, maybe Aquaman's a little bit more closer to Wonder Woman, but still. And they have a CW verse, they have a Titans verse that's about to come out, they have the cartoons, whereas at least with Marvel, you know everything is just all one universe, but now, like, everything on Fox is one thing. Everything on CW is one thing. You have the thing on Sci-Fi. Yeah. None of them are connected, but they're all going on at the same time.
Yeah. You know, I think that's the one issue with Marvel is like they have literally so much going on.
And none of it connects.
Yeah.
But it all exists within the same universe.
It's like they like in fucking Luke Cage, they're like, oh, the Avengers, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, Luke Cage is gonna be in Avengers, and it's like,
nah. What really bothers me is they try to put in Stan Lee cameos, but their Stan Lee cameos are a fucking poster.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess I didn't dig too deep into that.
Yeah.
That was your favorite. It's your favorite. You need another?
Yeah.
Boom. Talking dogs. Talking hogs.
Thanks, bro.
Nate. This dog loves beer. Just like her father. I think it's so weird when people refer to themselves as like
Parents
parents
dogs?
to their dogs.
Or cats. Yeah, no, that shit's weird.
Yeah.
No
or refer to their animals as fur babies.
No, dude.
Fur
My
babies
dog is my pooch, and that's where it ends.
my pooch. It's my pooch. Do you call your dog pooch?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. I call my dog a wide array of nicknames.
Call mine dumb bitch. A lot, actually.
I call him
I don't
Stinky
think
Bud.
I don't think Sarah likes when I call her dumb bitch, because I call it like that's just her name. She's a dumb bitch to me.
I mean, when Ruggs does stupid shit, I will call him a stupid shit. But it's not like a casual nickname. It's just like, oh, well, you're a dumb motherfucker.
Fucking idiot. You. Oh man.
It's weird though, man. Ever since I started playing D&D, I don't talk to my dog in a normal accent. Like I don't do the baby accent, but I'll just start talking in like, oh, this might be a character I'm going to use in my next D&D session. And so I'm just like, oh, cool, now I'm Irish, or now I'm whatever this accent is, or...
What's your best accent?
I'd have to probably say it's Irish, but I'm not entirely sure. I've never had an Irish person to be like, hey, that's good.
How's my Irish sound?
And
I feel like if you were around an Irish person, the last thing you'd be like, yo, dude,
hell no.
Check my fucking Irish out.
Hell no. I would never do that.
As compared to me, like, I feel like everyone always says some, like, Spanish shit, so I'm like, oh, you wanna fucking get into it? Oh, fucking top of the morning to you. Yeah, fucking, yeah, cook night bastard. And they're like, I just said hola. I'm like, yeah, stop fucking assuming I speak Spanish, son. I mean, I do, but, like, you don't gotta say that shit.
No, dude, I got into a D&D game, and it was an online game, and the Dungeon Master was straight up from Ireland.
Oh, man.
And the character I was planning to use before I had known where she was from, Irish. And then
it's hella sexist. I just assumed that the Dungeon Master was a fucking dude. Not because only dudes can be Dungeon Masters, but only because...
Only dudes are that nerdy?
Yeah. It's not sexist. It's just stereotypical.
I mean, granted, most of the people that I have played with have been men, but
what do you think the ratio is?
Somewhere between 60 and 70 dudes, and then 40, 30.
That's not bad.
But that's
not great, but that's not bad.
Like in my circle, I mean, like there's Critical Role, which has a huge following.
Isn't that what's Homegirl's name? Not Felicia Day.
Laura Bailey?
There you go.
Yeah.
I just fucking...
Yeah, no, like, they have a huge following, and from what I can tell, there are a lot of females in, like, that, like, so probably, like, a base number, it's probably closer to, like, 60-40, maybe less, but in my circle, I've had, 2, 3, 4, 5 girls maybe actually play D&D.
Yeah.
And that's just in the games where I've DM'd. And a lot of the times it's always been like one of my friends is interested in playing and he brings along his girlfriend. And which is great because they're getting to learn how to play the game. Yeah. But at the same time, it's not like their initial interest is brought in. I think I've only had that happen with like one person where they were just straight up interested. Yeah,
they wanted to play.
Yeah, and it wasn't like them doing it for someone else. It was just their own interest.
That's fair. You know, as much as I've always wanted to play, I just don't. That's so much time.
You're the only reason I ever started playing.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember we had that conversation. This was, I think, maybe I was unemployed at this time. Yeah, I was definitely unemployed at this time. Yeah, so you're welcome.
Yeah. And what's funny is, even though it was you who started the driving force that got me into it, you were not included in the game for some reason.
Makes sense.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I feel like... fuck, dude, I really don't know. As much as I want to be like, I'm just so busy. Like, I'm like, around that time, I was like, I was not busy. Or like, I don't know. I really don't know. I pop in and out of like everything.
D&D is like the one thing that I thought I would eventually fall out of.
Yeah.
But the only, like, there was a 3-month period.
You're like heavy into it.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
4 games a week. I play 4 games a week, and each game is anywhere from 3 to 5+ hours.
Me and Cody were talking shit the other day. We were like, what was it? We said something about like money, and I was like, oh no, Jack just spends it all on figurines anyways. And I was like, that's probably like kind of mean, but also like he can't be mad at it because it's true. It's true.
It's true. You know? I have put more money into D&D minis than I ever thought I would have.
I feel like that's definitely something that no one really thinks that they're gonna like really put money into.
Yeah.
I think I had the same sort of feeling when I spent $12 on a koozie.
Yeah, dude, I just remember I'm online. I'm like, okay, let's look up some D&D minis. I'm like, ooh, I need that one. Add to cart, and then the total was at like $80, and I was just like, well, shit. All right.
Check out. Well, fuck, dude. I'm gonna pull my card out. Y'all take PayPal?
It was only like 7 minis. I'm like, oh my god, what am I?
What a frivolous purchase. Fucking.
I'm gonna use these like 3 times.
That's fair, man. At least you're doing something that you like, though. You know, I think like a lot of people always talk shit on D&D, but it's because they don't have that thing that they're like, oh, I love doing this and I enjoy doing it. Some people are just like, oh, you play D&D?
I think a lot of
I got no other interest in my life.
I think the conceptions generally changed just based on like the people that have come to me showing interest in D&D are people like I would never expect to have done it. And I'm just like, really? Are you know what it is, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just think all of the people have this conception, the people that don't like it have this conception that it's that like nerdy game from the 70s when it's really evolved into something.
It's fucking so different.
It's so different. I mean, I've done a stupid amount of research on everything, and
was it you that gave me that book to read?
Which book?
It's like a history of D&D. I'm trying to figure out who gave me this book. Or if I don't
have like the only books I have are to play D&D. But like when D&D first started, it was not a role playing game. I mean, you took on the classes and everything, but like you weren't creating characters and backstories. You just had some dude.
It wasn't as deep.
Yeah, you just had a dude that designed a dungeon, and then you went dungeon diving. It was like playing Borderlands without a story. All you did was go in, kill some shit, get new guns, and continue.
Is that I never have to play Borderlands again. Or ever. I've never played it.
Never played it.
Now, by that description, I really don't know. I'll be all right.
Yeah, Borderlands is a good game. It's got some humor to it. It's fun. Get that co-op going. It's worth it.
This also goes back to me not having a next generation console, which also goes into every podcast Cody and I have done. He talks about what he's going to get me for my wedding. I think he's going to get me an Xbox.
Really?
No, I don't think so at all. But that's like the common joke. There is an Xbox on my wedding registry.
I know.
You're like, yeah, I've looked at it. But like that's the joke. It's like it's on there because it's like, well, if someone buckles and buys me an Xbox, that's not the worst thing to ever happen.
Honestly, I like at the same time that I would be surprised if Cody did that, I also would not be surprised.
No, because he would panic. Like,
no, it's not even that he would panic. It's that I've known Cody for 8 years now.
Yeah.
I met him like freshman year, but I didn't really start hanging out with him until my senior year, which was 2010, 2019, or 2009, if you want to get like specific. And like that dude.
Did you graduate?
2010.
You did 10. Okay. Yeah, I was like,
that dude has consistently gotten me presents for birthdays and Christmases. Yeah. And I am a complete and total piece of shit and have maybe reciprocated twice.
I really hope he listens to this. I don't think he would listen to this. He hasn't listened to the other ones. Maybe he has. But I really hope he listens to this and he's just like, you know what, Jack, you're this birthday. Your cut off
Dude,
son.
This hat. This was a present.
This is a present from him.
This is one of the coolest presents I've ever gotten.
You're on his podcast.
I am.
Not talking
I'm not
mess.
even talking shit. I've felt bad every single time. I'm like, oh, dude, you got
Cody,
me a present.
Cody, we're gonna get you a really awesome present.
Dude, that's what I've been thinking. Is just like one day I'm just gonna be like, fuck.
Yeah.
But I've been shit with presents lately. Like I haven't.
Yeah,
gotten
dude. Unless it's my
dad
wife,
any
dude. Like,
presents.
yeah.
Like, at least with my brother, there's like this, like, hey, dude, I'm broke, you're broke, let's just get a beer.
That's
Cool.
fair.
That's because our birthdays are a week apart. So cool, we're done. That's it.
Everyone always buys me beer from like birthdays and shit like that, which is like cool. But like I always start cashing. Like someone always makes a joke like, "Oh, someone's gonna get you beer for your birthday," and then sure enough, someone's like, "I got you beer for your birthday." And
Dude,
I'm
I
like,
remember.
yeah, yes.
I remember before I started drinking when I was younger, like the.
When did you start drinking?
15 or 16.
How great is that?
I remember the exact day that I had my first drink of
Do you
alcohol.
remember what it was?
I can tell you it was plastic bottle vodka, and it was warm. Yep.
I could throw up in my mouth just thinking about it.
Yeah, dude, it was the last day of school on my junior year. I was with my buddy Jared, my buddy Joey, and Jared's girlfriend Sarah.
Outing all you motherfuckers
All
for
of them for
attributing to a
underage
minor.
drinking.
I'm so used to looking at this camera and like being able
Oh,
to
did I
look.
fuck up your spot?
No, I'm always here, but like the camera is always like decently like enough to where I can like look at it.
Okay.
But like I can just
No, dude, it was we
out in the desert.
Yeah, we went out into the desert.
Typical
my
Vegas
buddy had an
kid.
F-150, and we went out into the desert, and we were drinking, and I got... Dude, I was...
You threw up?
I
You
don't
never
think so.
throw up. No, I've only seen you throw up once.
Yeah, that was a rough day.
To this day, only time I've ever seen someone lose drunk quest by throw up.
Well, then there's a second time I threw up, because I threw up at your house once.
Did you?
Yeah, I felt terrible.
Did I see it?
Yeah, I think you didn't... I don't think you actually saw me throw
Were you
up.
in the bathroom?
I was in the bathroom.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, then definitely not.
Yeah, but I didn't make it all the way to the toilet, so I needed a towel.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, we were really drunk, so...
Yeah, it's fair.
It's
fair.
Yeah, man, all I remember is that I was so drunk that I would, like... We had the truck bed down,
Yeah.
and so I would spin around and land on it, and I felt like I was riding a roller coaster. That was my first drunk experience. It was terrible, but amazing somehow.
I don't remember I'm pretty sure it was like a Bud Light or something stupid. The first time I remember getting drunk though, it was Christmas. I don't remember what Christmas was, but I do remember what I got for Christmas. It was a white like iHome like boombox thing. Oh god, it's the best thing ever. And it was that moment, you know, like when you're sitting down, and you're drinking, you're just sitting forever. And you finally get up, and then you're
dude,
like,
that is the worst.
yeah, it was like that, but it was like little teenage, like, I'm pretty sure I was around the same age. It was like 7th or 8th grade, something like that, where I was like, thought I was all cool, and then sure enough, I go like stand up, and I'm like, oh, I gotta use the restroom. Go into the restroom, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna throw up. Lost it. And then there was famously, it was like back in the day where like we had a video camera. And I was like passed out on the floor. And then my brother came, woke me up, put me in the shower with all my clothes on. Which, funny enough, I was wearing a like blue Dickies with a blue shirt. I was just blue on blue. For whatever reason, I thought I was a blood, but I also had a red on red combo. So it was a blood and a crip at the same time. But yeah, and there was just a video of me like in the shower, like in the corner. It's like water just going over me and just like couldn't move. It's terrible.
No, dude, the only time I've ever been messed with, like, well, the only time I've ever gotten so drunk that I've passed out in, like, public was at Cody's house. And...
It's a fair place to do it.
Yeah, dude, we...
In a little casita?
Yeah, yeah. And we had just we had just went to Extreme Thing, and the Expose booth was giving out Sharpies on keychains. And so I had a red Sharpie on a keychain, and that night, I had some vodka at home and a Hawaiian Punch, And so I had filled the Hawaiian punch.
It's not that bad of a mix.
It really isn't. It's only bad when it's like 70% vodka and 30% Hawaiian punch.
Teenagers don't know how to mix
No,
drinks.
I didn't know shit, dude.
I remember vodka.
I remember trying to gauge my ears up a level when I was in high school, and I was just like, this isn't going in. So I went into the kitchen and I was just like, swig, and then just boom, zeros. Yeah.
Popsky.
Yeah, but no, dude, that thing was gone so fast, and I was just like, we were playing video games. I'm like, I'm too tired for this. I passed out. The amount of profane things that were drawn onto my face were unreal.
Assholes.
Yeah, it was mostly just Alec. I'm pretty sure.
You know, I've hung out with that dude like maybe twice, maybe 3 times, but that dude is great. I appreciate that dude.
I'm fairly sure he doesn't care I exist anymore.
He's living a Olympic weightlifter's life.
He is.
Yeah.
But I had a friend pick me up from the airport in New York because it wasn't him, or I wasn't hanging out with him that day.
Yeah.
He refused to hang out with me for the rest of my trip.
Really?
Yep. He was livid. And then I tried calling him to be like, hey, man, I'm free today. Let's hang out. Oh, dude, I'm at work. Okay, cool. Call me when you're off work. We'll do something. I'm here. Never called me. Hasn't talked to me since.
Alec, I'm pretty sure you will never see this and or listen to this. Call Jack.
Right, dude?
Don't
be a bitch.
Soonish.
We've been friends since something.
Oh, something.
Oh, something, man.
Oh, something. Oh, fuck. I lost my train of thought.
Oh, I remember. I remember when, I was younger before I drank, and the present to give people was bottles of liquor. And I thought that was terrible. But if someone was like, hey, Jack, it's your birthday. Here's a bottle of gold label Jameson.
You'd be like, I'm down. 100%.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude. So for the wedding, we have, stupid amounts of liquor.
Nice.
Stupid amounts of liquor and beer. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I can't drink any of it. It's all, up there. But, oh, my God. It's like heaven.
Heaven. I'm going to be trashed.
You know what's funny? So I was actually just thinking about this, thinking about you chugging vodka. When you get going, you're, unstoppable.
Really?
Yeah, once you're, feeling yourself, you got a couple drinks in you, you're, drink after drink after drink. It's not sloppy. You're just really saucy, and you're, having a good time.
Yeah.
And it's oh, this is a Jack that I know. And it's just, beer after beer, shot. And it's not like me where if I'm doing that, I'm toast. But it's because you're bigger than I am. And I try to drink like big people.
Yeah, I try to keep up with everybody. Or, at the same time that I try to keep up with everybody, I don't. Because it's I know...
It's just your level, though.
Yeah. I know what's going to make me be not what I want to be. And so... I went through too many phases when I was younger where people were like, hey, man, do a shot. I'm like, I shouldn't. Hey, man, do a shot. Fine.
Yeah.
And now it's just well, I just had beer, so if I had Jameson, I'm going to throw up. So, no, I'm not going to take that shot.
My issue is I've always hung out and drank with, people bigger than myself.
Yeah.
So, my brother, bigger than me. Chief, bigger than me. You, bigger than me. Cody, bigger than me. And I drink with these people on a level where it's just we're going... We go until we're done.
Yeah.
But trying to keep up with Chief.
I feel like you and Cody are very similar drunks, though.
Yeah, but he's still bigger than me. So, when
he can drink more, but, you guys still get to that same level. And I feel like it's around the same pace, too. Because you drink at a more casual speed, but eventually reach the same level. Cody is like an Olympic drinker.
Yeah.
In terms of speed.
Yeah, he's just so quick. But also, when we do podcasts, I try to, match. I always try to be, handing, beer for beer, just so we're on the same level. So it's just, he's drinking that fast, I'm drinking that fast. And it's not because, I'm trying to, it's just, the mental, oh, okay, he's drinking, I'll take a drink. And then it's oh, that one's done, cool, finish this up, we'll do this guy. And it's in, a mental, clock, okay, cool, we're doing it. We're in it. Because, by the time that he gets to a certain point, I want to be on the same point, so I'm not like, oh, this dude's just fucking drunk. I'm just listening to him ramble at this point.
I hate that so much.
And it's just like, I want, not even that I need to be drunk or that we need to be drunk to, you know, but it's just like, it makes it so much easier to be on that level.
Oh, no,
you
dude,
know?
for sure.
Especially when you're like just sitting and talking like,
that, dude, it's literally the worst when you are either dead sober or barely buzzing and someone is drunk.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this would be fun if we were on the same level, but because we're not on the same level, this is terrible.
Yeah.
I just want to leave.
Yeah.
But
like,
I can't because
like you're talking at me, not to me.
Oh man,
this thing saves lives.
The koozie?
Yeah, like fill this.
Oh my god!
Right? This thing is the best thing ever. I think it's like Brewmate. It was like $18.
It was an $18 koozie.
It's a cooler. It's a thermal. Two down.
I think that's another thing. I let people outdrink me, and still, because I feel like, I don't know, man. Like I'm always at a good level when I'm drinking until I'm too far. But then by the time I'm
but
like,
how do you know you're too far? I'm just kidding. You know. You definitely.
You definitely.
God damn it, camera. Hello, I'm right here. I'm looking at you.
No, dude. After your wedding shower, it was.
Oh, don't even.
Dude, it was the weirdest after like party experience for me because I went and I bought a steak, and then I went home, and then I was hungover.
Where'd you get a steak from?
I went to Albertsons.
You bought a steak. You went to Albertsons, bought a steak. You cooked a steak.
No.
What?
just wait.
Hear me out.
I got the steak from Albertsons, and then I went home, and then it was a mixture of throwing up, falling asleep, and watching a terrible Netflix movie.
Okay, so you didn't cook the steak.
After about 5 hours, I think it was maybe like anywhere from 1 to 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
I felt better. Cooked a full steak dinner, and was perfectly fine.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know what it was, but like the mixture of all those drinks was not good. Like I was like, obviously I was sick.
Yeah.
But
Do you even remember me and Chief coming up there?
Yeah, fucking Chief was like singing songs and shit like that.
Chief was also really drunk.
Yeah, no, I appreciate Chief more than he ever knows, but like I was done. There's nothing I can do about it. Like it's just how it was, and like I don't even like remember how I got to that point, but I got to that point, and sorry to my wife for falling asleep and passing out. And you know what? I was hungover until like,
dude, I don't know how I won those games.
5 the next day. Oh god, yeah.
I won.
You know what? You know what fucked me up? That pass the bottle shit.
Yeah.
And then we did a shot. Right? We did like 3 shots back to back.
Dude, I don't know what happened that day. I can't mix drinking beer and whiskey, and that's all I did all day.
Yeah.
And I was like whiskey was like water to me, and I don't ever have that happen.
Is that a song? No, it's whiskey. Is it whiskey and wine?
Whiskey.
I don't know.
Whiskey and wine might be a song, but that sounds like a terrible fucking mix.
Yeah, I can only think of like wine. I just had wine the other night. Do you like wine?
White wine.
There you go. I remember
Yeah,
I had asked you about it. I was like, okay, gotcha.
Because red wine tastes like fucking wood, or smoke.
Smoked wood.
Or the combination, yes. I mean, I'll drink it if I have to, but
if it's the only thing available, yeah, I'm there.
Because I remember being a kid and always like associating grapes with wine, so I always assumed that wine would be grape flavored. And I remember
I've never thought about that before. Now I can only think of all the wines I'm drinking. I'm like, they taste nothing like grape.
Right? And you always see people like smushing grapes when they're like doing wine shit on TV. Yeah. And I remember like growing up
Now I'm just thinking of people's feet and like in my wine.
right,
Like,
it's terrible.
I'm like, this $13 bottle of wine. It's got people's feet on it. It's my favorite.
Yeah, man, I was starting to like expand my horizons when it came to drinking, and I had a conversation with my mom, and I'm like, why doesn't wine not taste like grapes? And I don't remember what the outcome was, but she wound up getting me like a sparkling grape cider or something, or a grape wine.
Yeah.
Terrible.
You know, rosé. Have you ever had rosé?
No, I've only had, I don't know what I've had, to be honest. I just know there's reds I've had, all the reds suck, and there's whites I've had, and they just tasted like a sweet alcoholic drink.
That's fair. Rosé. If you ever get a chance, I'll find us a bottle of rosé that we can drink, because rosé is fucking delicious.
I'm down.
It's like candy in wine form. I don't think that's true.
Isn't rosé like a mixture of red and white?
I want to say yes because it's pinkish, but you know.
I don't know why they just don't call mixtures pink wines.
This is rosé, son. I'll take. All right, we're coming up on an hour here.
Are we really?
Yeah, man. Time flies when you're talking into microphones.
We have said literally nothing with substance.
It's the best part about podcasts. You can talk about nothing. You're like, yep, that's a full episode. So that's a week.
Pee break and then lightning.
What are you getting me for my wedding?
I have no idea.
Son of a bitch. Get me an Xbox.
Literally have not made that decision.
What's the last video game you played?
Enter the Gungeon.
That sounds like a fake video game. You know, in movies where they're like, "Yeah, bro, I just got this video game. It's all I'm playing. What's it called? Enter the Gungeon."
Dude, there is nothing that irks me more than seeing video games like not adapted, but like represented poorly in television.
You know, Cody. It might have been you or Cody talking about Grandma's Boy. Yeah. I was like, yeah, that's what it's like to be a video game tester. And then like, knowing you guys, it's just like, oh, that's nothing, what they actually do. So,
bro, I wish
that movie is like
when I was testing
forever
BioShock,
tainted.
man. I wish I could have taken levels home with me and worked on it from home. Those 12-hour days.
It'd be 8 real quick, and then just 4 hours at home doing nothing, pretending like I'm working on glitches.
And the terminology they used, man, it was wonderful. I've heard people say that there are companies that are kind of like that, but I don't.
I've worked at 3 of them. None of them have been that way.
I don't believe they exist. I don't believe there's a tech company that's like that.
So you're wearing a Mars Attack shirt. Hopefully the camera. Can you give me your best Martian impression?
Oh, God. That didn't. It was. Dude, I want to watch that movie so bad. Ever since I've gotten this shirt, I realize how little.
Okay, so
I feel like it came off more Three Stooges than. Or is it Three Stooges?
So, like the Martian is like one of the best impersonations that I have. So I love that someone actually did it.
Did you not think I would?
No.
I've given up on giving a shit about attempting to do impressions.
Oh my god.
That's the one thing that like D&D has been good for is
they're all caution to the wind.
Yep.
You know what's funny? I think I have a pretty decent is it Smeagol?
Yeah, or Gollum.
Gollum. I think I have a pretty decent Gollum impression. Never seen Lord of the Rings in my life.
This podcast is over.
You know this about me. You've been on this. But yeah, like
but I don't want to be reminded.
Yeah, it's I think it's actually very ironic. And for the longest time I would like sing the Indiana Jones theme song. Never saw Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I could never get into Indiana Jones.
Bro, that was the first one, you know.
Like I tried to watch the first one, but I'm like, that's Han Solo not being Han Solo.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
Yeah, I just couldn't dig it.
Yeah.
You know,
I did watch Crystal Skull though. I don't know. I like Shia LaBeouf.
The Buskers, the Buskies.
Yeah.
It's not his nickname.
It's not. Huh?
Go for it.
All right. Yeah, so I came across this YouTuber. And he does like breakdowns of anime. Like he talks about music in anime or animation in anime, or he'll just straight up review an anime. And I pretty much just went through his entire like list of videos. And there was something about it, like you could just, he was very good at relaying the passion that he had for both anime and being a YouTuber in his videos, in his words. And after having gone through all that, I'm like, fuck, man. I haven't been like acting on the passions that I have.
Yeah.
And so, fuck it.
You know, that's actually so funny that you're talking about this right now, like in the bathroom. I was just thinking about how you and Chief kind of motivated me.
Stop being a little bitch?
Well, yeah. Motivated me in like the most like motivated me at a time where like I had no motivation to really pursue shit. I'm pretty sure I've told you this before, where we were doing like the get drunk and tweet celebrities thing.
Yeah.
You guys were like, dude, like no one's gonna like really get this because like you're not anybody yet. And then like that thought of just like, oh man, like I don't want to admit that you're right, but you're right.
Yeah, because it was less of it wasn't going to go to anybody, and more that you're doing it for your friends rather than doing it for yourself.
For an audience, yeah.
Or an audience.
Yeah. But that like, especially like when I created Cold Soup last year in November. And that was like one of the things where it's just like, okay, so who am I? What am I? And then I was just like, this is who I am. This is what I do now.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, this is like, honestly, the most fun I've had being me in a long time. And like, as much as like the podcast don't get as many views, but it's dope on the people that do watch it and do dig it, or if I like at least can say something about it, like, dude, that shit speaks volumes.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Fuck, dude, you listen to me talk for like an hour.
Dude, I remember I've never finished a story ever. I've always come up with ideas. My Google Docs is just a mess.
Massive.
Of ideas and half finished, half started stories.
You should see the amount of composition books I have.
Yeah. Like I have notebooks. I like some that I've never even written in, because I just like I bought this with the purpose of it being the brainstorming / like storing mechanism for this idea, and then I just never pursued
this
that
is my
idea.
new idea notebook. I'm gonna fucking write the shit out of this.
Yeah, and so when I was like, holy shit, I finished this. This is done. This is the first time I've written a story from start to finish, and now I still want to continue it. Like, I want to get that first round of feedback. I want to see how people think it is.
Yeah.
What's good, what's not good, what they think of it compared to what I was trying to convey by writing it, and then edit it, and then just get it out there for anyone or everyone to just read.
Yeah.
It's
a great feeling. It's great.
It's a great feeling.
That was my first video for sure. Yeah. Like, I had... It's funny, like, I even filmed a video, like, way back in the day.
Dude, we wrote a video together.
Did we?
Yeah.
What was it?
I don't remember.
Oh, fuck me.
I remember coming over to your house, and I think it was with...
Keenan?
No. I think it was with Sarah. Not this Sarah.
Other Sarah.
Other Sarah. And I just remember talking about a dream I had, and we were rolling with that, and I was helping.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, okay, so like, I've written so much, so I filmed a video, but it just never came together. Like, I've tried to do this for so long, and like, finally, like last in November when I put it together, like, and I just put it out, and I was like, holy shit, this is what it's like. Mm-hmm. And now, like, it's like, now I'm just chasing, like, what's the next, like, good video, in my opinion? Like, what's the next good video?
Dude, it doesn't, like, I don't even think it has to be about the next good video.
Well, no, I mean, so it's like, or the next good idea, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not like every story idea is you're just like, oh, I'm going to fucking write this. And it's just like, oh, no, that's a good idea. But, like, maybe that's not the one. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have.
I mean, like, I guess the podcast thing is probably more along the lines of what I was going to say. Mm-hmm. But it's less about the next good video and more about consistently putting out videos.
Yeah. That's honestly, like, that's why I think, like, the podcast has helped. And I've, like, started doing vlog as well. Is, like, in these, like, 2 weeks, like, since the ASMR video, which I thought was fucking great.
Really?
Like, yeah. Have you watched it?
I feel like if I watched it, I would be severely uncomfortable, so I haven't yet.
No, it's fun. It's so much funnier than
that. I have seen it.
Yeah?
I have seen it.
Yeah. So, like, that was, like, a fucking, like, home run video, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And since then, like, I've kind of had, like, this block of, like, a funny idea to put out that I can do, you know? And, as like the podcast has really helped, like even just like talking about ideas and talking with Cody and stuff like that. It's still keeping content out, which I think is good, keeping me editing and everything like that. But like I'm trying to think like what's the next video, and now that I actually have the idea for the next video, and like all I'm thinking about is how can I film it, when can I film it.
Yeah.
So I feel you. It's just it's fun. It's like it's a lot of fun.
I wish I had, because there's so many different things I want to do. Like after watching that YouTuber, I'm like, I kind of want to start doing my own thing like this. But at the same time, like it's super intimidating. Like like I have a superior amount of respect in you for doing this because I feel like just the overwhelming odds would just be too deterring for me.
Yeah, Cody and I were actually talking about this on the last podcast. Like, a lot of people just don't do anything
because of that.
Because of, like, the fear of, like, oh, well, this isn't going to be, like, the next big thing. And so, like, it may not be. It may never be. But, like, you're doing it for you. Like, you know, like, and especially, like, with how vast the internet is, like, you're putting it out for someone. Someone's going to see it,
Someone's
you know?
Gonna see it.
Like, even if it's just, like, a lot of my close friends and family, like, yeah, you get an insight to, like, how my stupid brain functions. Right. And you see, like, what does Marco think is funny? Well, he thinks whispering into a microphone and eating bananas on camera is funny. And it's like, it's not fun. It's really weird, but it's kind of funny, you know?
I remember that shit,
so,
too.
Like, and it's cool because, like, even my nephew, we talked about this on the last podcast, but my nephew has seen those videos, and he's really hyped on it because he wants to do, like, YouTube videos, and he watches YouTube, you know. He's part of this new generation. And he was like talking shit on my like 12 subscribers at the time, and I'm only at 43 now, but like or 41. Good. But it's just like he saw my videos and now he knows all my videos. You know, he knows the stupid ASMR username that I put in the video, and like that shit speaks way more volume than like.
Yeah, dude.
The self-doubt in my head. That's.
I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I went to high school with someone who is now a fairly successful YouTuber.
Fuckle doodle doo, no way.
Yeah.
Who?
Do you remember Aki? She was a short little Asian girl that we went to high school with. She was in the same grade as me.
Mm-hmm. What does she do?
She does anime.
Really?
Yeah. Like, nice. What was super
like fun. Animation and everything, or
I don't know so much about animation. I'm gonna be real with you. I have seen one of her videos.
You like heard that she was like on YouTube, and you're like, well,
yeah, I remember because Jasmine, my tattoo artist, is like her best friend, and I remember Jasmine was originally filming a skit with her way back before she really took off.
Yeah,
and then I follow her on Instagram. And slowly but surely, I've seen her growing in popularity. Like, she went from 100,000 subscribers to, like, 1 million subscribers. She's getting flown out to cons.
She got the gold
country.
Plaque?
I think so.
So that's the fucking gold.
Right? Even the silver plaque, bro.
Oh, fuck. Nah. I want the gold. I want the little gold ski.
Yeah, I mean,
so
the
then
gold
so then that way I can pour a beer on it and just fucking...
Use it as a luge?
Yeah. YouTube won't be happy about that at all.
Probably not. So they'll get
Fuck
you
it,
some
I'm there.
views.
I don't do beer comedy for no reason.
Yeah, man. Like, it's crazy to think that something like that is possible.
Yeah, man. I was doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get like Cody. I think I've like cold soup was originally like my thing. We were gonna do like Underachievers separate. Mm-hmm. But I was like, fuck it. Like, I already have the channel.
Yeah.
I already got like not a huge following, but I've got like something, you know. So we'll put it on there. We'll just make it one.
Right.
I'm doing all the editing anyways.
Like,
you know.
You can totally edit this out if it's not supposed to be something you want other people to know. But wasn't Underachievers originally supposed to be a pilot?
The Underachievers was something that Keenan and I were gonna do like a little mini series of. But since his passing, I don't think I could. I mean, I could do the same concept, but I wouldn't use the same name. And the name was actually Cody's idea because he knew of what Keenan and I had done.
You and Cody had sent me the pilot, and I sent you guys some edits, and like I think that was in between all of the like drunk tweeting celebrities and actual cold soup, and so to go from that to this was a very different step that I kind of didn't see coming at first.
That just came from the whole thing of like trying to get people on board, but no one really wants to do it, or you know. You want to do it, but no one else wants to. Mm-hmm. So that's when I took cold soup and just ran with it myself.
Yeah, smart move.
My best move, honestly. Yeah. But yeah, like now Cody, I think is I talk about him with cold soup in the same regard that I talk about myself. You know.
So it's like you're saying it feels more like a joint venture?
He's a part of cold soup. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's very much my baby,
right?
But he is part of cold soup. Yeah, and it's like if I welcome like everybody to that. Like if you want to like have like a creative outlet and need that at least that space to create and like, dude, I got fucking cameras, I got microphones, like
yeah, dude. I mean,
I got editing. I've got the time. You know, I'll make time, find time, but. If that's what you want to do and there's actual effort and, you know, creative output going out, like, I'm down, you know?
Yeah, because, I mean, like I was saying, like, the YouTube thing is something I wanted to pursue, but I didn't know what to do. Like, everything that I think I want to do is already at such a saturated place. Like, I'm very passionate about D&D. I could do D&D videos, but there are a million other fat bearded dudes that are also doing D&D videos. Yeah. I'm not going to stand out in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. And I like maybe it's just my own like self-doubt, but I feel like I wouldn't be able to bring anything that's not already out there.
Bring something new to the table.
Yeah. And then there's like the one thing that has always like stood the test of time with me, movie reviewing or just reviewing in general.
So, I'm going to bring this to you. Cody and I are looking to get a capture card and everything like that. We were just talking about doing like stupid movie reviews and how we could do it, or just like commentary on movies. How we could do it. We were like, we'll get a capture card, so then that way we could do Let's Play as well. I think that is something that would be kind of dope to do. Like, I think it's like
MSTK?
Yeah.
MST3K?
Yeah.
Mystery
fucking
theater?
Yeah, mystery science theater.
MST3K.
Carry the one.
Yeah.
But yeah, like along those lines, because there's a video that him and I did where we watched WrestleMania 3, the main event, which was Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. But we were both way too high and way too drunk, so it was not good content. But just stuff like that, I think would be kind of up your alley, and you have a very specific voice that you just like to talk shit, but you're also funny in that regard. Yeah. I think it's about finding that voice where it's just like the persona of it,
and
you know?
And that's actually what a lot of the edits to my recent edit was.
Yeah.
Like in that story was, I was reading it and I'm just like, this dude has no voice. He has no personality.
Yeah.
His like even like and honestly, the only personality I gave him was cursing. Like,
which is like your personality.
It is. And I'm like,
fuck
that
this,
one
fuck
change,
you, fuck everybody.
Like, there's a moment in the story, like, preface to the story. It's a dude that wakes up in front of a house, and he has absolutely no memory of anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first moment where he starts to realize that he has an idea of who he is, even though he can't remember anything, is when he says fuck and gets this sort of calming feeling. And then all throughout the story...
Cursing is my sweet spot.
All throughout the story, there are these moments where shit's getting really hectic for him, and it's just a string of fuck, 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 and whether or not that's actually working for him. And I feel like that... It didn't do much for him, but it did enough to make him actually be a person.
Yeah. That's fair. It's actually a really good point.
Yeah. And, like, it's something that I don't think I've ever been able to do with my reviews. Because I have a fucking blog that I use maybe
so
like
thorough.
once
Yeah,
every
so thorough.
3 months.
Yeah.
And there's been so many times where I will sit down and I'll be like, okay, cool. Or I'll have seen a movie and I'm like, damn, I need to review this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I just watched an anime the other day and it was so unbelievably good that I just wanted to write a review for it. And I started to write it and there was just no structure to it. And there's just been so many times where I've sat down and I'm like, okay, I'm going to come up with a guideline for my reviews.
Yeah.
And every single time I've tried to do it, nothing's ever come of it.
Dude, get yourself a camera. Like, just set it up, record, and just talk.
Really?
Yeah. Like, so, like, the way that I record my videos is always by myself. Like, there's no one holding the camera or anything like that. Mm-hmm. It comes with, like, a loose structure of, like, what I want, like, the jokes I want to talk about, the lines I want to hit, or what I'm trying to get to. But it's, for the most part, like, me in front of the camera going until it works, you know? And it's not like anyone's like, oh, dude, that was a funny line, or like, oh, you know, don't say it like this, say it like this. It's like, I will be in front of the camera like, I can't even pretend to think. But it's just me sitting in front of the camera, doing it and doing it and doing it until where it's just like saying one line, and we're just like, ha ha ha, if you know what I'm saying. And it's like, okay, well, what if I, ha ha ha, blah 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 blah, if you know what I'm saying. Or if it's just like, how do I get to the point to where it's funny and where I want to go, but just like, you're literally just in front of the camera, like, talking and going and putting yourself out there. And it's like, structure doesn't have fucking, dude, no one cares about structure. I know you care about structure, but like, as long as you're not like, oh, and the fucking ending was like blah 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 blah, and then like in the beginning of the movie it's like this, unless like that's like the point you're trying to hit. But like,
I mean, usually, I mean, there's usually always some form of a structure to my reviews. Yeah. It's just never the same structure or never the same tone. Yeah. The only thing that comes in common, like there's the common theme for my reviews is cursing about how good it is or how bad it is. And
that's literally all you need.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Like, all the YouTubers that I do follow and watch their videos, that's pretty much it. Like, I follow a D&D YouTuber. Yeah. He literally sits in front of a camera at his computer, has a script on his monitor, and reads. And those are his videos. Yeah. And even though he's reading, there's times where he'll go off script, and you can just tell he's super passionate about D&D and writing. And then the anime dude that I was talking at the beginning of the podcast, he doesn't necessarily like film himself doing it. Yeah. He'll write a script, he'll talk, and then he'll like air anime over the video of him talking. Every now and then, like he's super funny, so we'll throw in bits with his face, blah blah blah, yada yada. But that's pretty much what they do. I just always felt myself as more of a writer and less of a sit in front of a camera kind of guy, but I think that would make a difference.
I've always wanted to be a director. The only way that I'll get there is by putting myself out there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like it's more so about to speak in wrestling terms, put yourself over. Like, how do people know you're funny if they're not going to read your work? Yeah. well, have a video of you being funny. It was like, oh shit, well, who wrote that? Well, that was me. Oh shit, you are a good writer. You know, like how do we know you're a good director if we've never seen you direct? Well, all these videos are me behind the camera and setting it up. I would just happen to be in front of it.
Right.
You know, so honestly, it's about producing content. It's make it happen. You know, like
I mean, and it's funny how that same sentiment comes back to like both of us.
Yeah, man.
Me starting to produce content and you continually producing content.
And truthfully, it's just fucking fun.
Yeah.
Like, Cody and I hang out like at least once a week.
Yeah.
So it forces me to at least hang out with someone once a week, and it's fun. Like even if I'm not in the la-di-da cheery mood, we're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna talk about this, and just like, oh, dude, what are we gonna talk about today? And it's like, well, fucking, especially Cody. Like Cody comes from fucking nowhere, like left field. He's like fucking Space Force, and I'm like, don't fucking get me started on this shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just you're like, I truly don't know what we're getting into, and it's just like it's always just fun conversations. It's like, and you're producing, you know, you're doing something you like me, like, dude, doing these podcasts is just so much fun. Just getting to talk to someone. Like, I mostly talk to my wife all week, so getting to talk to someone like, and I don't talk to Cody throughout the week, so. When I do, I'm like, what's up? I haven't talked to you in a week.
I mean, that's,
and now we're on microphone. You know what I'm saying?
Like this is just the stuff we normally do, except now I feel like I'm on a porn set instead of.
Yeah. So it's fun. It's even better when I have these in the bedroom, and I'm like, I'm filming myself. Like wake up. I'm like,
I've seen so many memes of like this exact camera angle.
Yeah.
And it's
casting couch. Is that what it is? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a black couch. Leather.
Yeah.
Funny enough, like
that's weird. Why?
Should have went with like a fucking. It's like suede.
Leather. Something
other than leather.
Is pleather still leathery? I don't.
It's leathery, but not leather.
Yeah. What would you call this?
This is a micro suede.
Micro suede. Okay. Not what I was gonna.
Or suede. Maybe it's just suede.
Suede. Yeah.
It's some sort of suede. It's probably just regular suede.
I had a fucking couch that was like cross stitched. It was super weird. Yeah, dude. It looked like it was sewn together with pieces of yarn.
Dude, I actually had a couch like that too, and it was like it had a very Arizona vibe to it. Okay. It had this
I've been to Arizona once, so I never got to look at their couches. I mean, since we're like sticking to like actual substantial conversations now.
Yeah.
You want to be a director? Like, what is the dream directing gig?
My own, so written and directed by.
Written and directed by?
Yes. I don't think I would go for it's called, so I've seen it on Cinema Sense called The Holy Ghost. Written, directed, and starring by. I don't think I would ever want to star in, but I love what like Kevin Smith does. Yes. Written, directed, and he appears in his own. Yeah. I think that is the ultimate goal. Just because I do like being on camera. I do think I'm decently funny. I love writing. I love directing. So I think that's
Krasinski kind of did it.
Did he?
Yeah, with The Quiet Place. He didn't. So he directed it.
Full circle.
He starred in it.
See, this is what I like. See, boom.
But I don't want to say he wrote it, but he.
Was he a producer on it?
I think he was a producer on it as well, but he helped the story development or something. Mm-hmm. Like I had just watched it recently, and it was written by two people, and then there was another like writing-esque credit that he was credited for along with the two script writers.
Probably like co-writer or fucking editor.
Something like that.
Script editor.
Story. Like
screenplay adapted by. Yeah, I think that's like it'd be like the ultimate goal.
And it would be a comedy?
More than likely. Dude, I love comedy. Mm-hmm. I think like especially like if you're given like the green light to make a comedy movie, there's a lot of confidence in the script because comedy I think is the hardest genre of movie to put out there because comedy is so like what's the word that I'm looking for?
hit or miss.
Subjective. Where like, unless a comedy is seen as like universally funny to multiple crowds, that comedy isn't gonna get made.
Yeah,
you know
I mean, on
saying?
top of that, if you're getting greenlit off the script alone, like that's without any of the tone or inflection of the actors that you do manage to get.
Exactly. So, but I mean, that's like most of the script though. Until you're like, hey, I kind of had this person. But it would be that, and like I don't know, comedy. I just always felt like from like a deep root of like, if you can make people laugh, like that's all you need in the world, and that's like what makes me happy in life, you know, is like making people happy. Movies have always been like the like my favorite pastime. Like I love going to the movies. There's not many things that I like not splurge on a lot, but like when I go to the movies, I getting popcorn, drinks, candy, and stuff like that. Like I have no sense of like, oh, you know, like it's $10 for a movie and the popcorn's like $7. You know, I don't think I want to go. Like, nah, son. If there's a movie that I really want to go see,
I was supposed to see Mission Impossible.
I'm gonna ball the fuck out, son. I don't think I've seen Mission Impossible. No.
I'm a Tom Cruise fan, regardless of the Scientology.
Shout out Scientology.
Yeah, right. We need sponsors. Dude, I don't think I can write comedy. I really don't.
I don't know.
It's
but
so hard.
It's hard, but when you get a good laugh, it's all the worthwhile.
You know, I take that back. It's probably significantly easier if you're writing with a group of writers. Like you have shit to.
Nah, that's way easy. Yeah, it's significantly easier. But like that's like, I guess that's my favorite part is like, dude, I write all these jokes by myself. I even like I tell Sarah them, and she's like, that I don't think that's. She'll just look at me and she's like, no, that's funny, babe. And I'm like, that's fuck. I'm like, no, that's not funny.
Like if you say it's funny,
yeah, I'm like
funny isn't said. It's
that's a fucking episode of Scrubs with Tara Reid, right? Mm-hmm. Where she's like, oh, she just says that's so funny, but doesn't laugh at anything. And you're like, oh fuck, that's so true.
Yeah.
Do you ever have You haven't had that many girlfriends.
Thanks.
Do you ever have a girl? Oh, that's just true. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Have you ever had someone that was like that? Where they're just like, oh my god, that's so funny. You're like, fucking laugh then. Laugh. Laugh.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's though I think the fake laugh is worse. Like you say something and you know it's not that funny, and they're just like thinking you're trying to be funny, and so they just laugh, and you're like, that wasn't no.
I feel like people think I have a fake laugh. Someone once told me I had like a Seth Rogen, like contagious laugh.
Seth Rogen's laugh is terrible.
What? That was the worst Seth Rogen impression ever. I don't have a better one. But
as soon as you started laughing, I'm like, I can kind of see that Seth Rogen in there.
Yeah, but someone was just like, you had that laugh where it's just like other people want to laugh.
Dude, honestly, I've gotten more compliments on my laugh than even my beard.
That's a nice looking beard. You do have a really good laugh, though.
Thanks.
Yeah, you do have yeah. I think like when you have that like hearty laugh, like that, and you're like, yeah, on 4th of July. That's like it's a very special moment that a lot of people have experienced but take very much for granted.
Oh, I have no doubts of that.
Yeah.
Fucking my ex said that when I laughed, my tongue danced. That was some weird shit. Yeah.
Your tongue danced.
Yeah, like have you seen that meme of the bearded dragon just like, and it's like just the head's receded and the tongue sticking out. Whenever she said that, that's immediately what I imagined I look like.
Yeah, like a bearded dragon. That's a good mental image of yourself.
I mean, it's a good, but like at the same time, like I felt like a stupid looking lizard. So
that's fair. Yeah.
But
it's a double-edged sword.
I like my laugh too much to be self-conscious about that shit.
No, it's a good laugh.
Yeah, dude, I don't understand why. Like, have you ever had a girlfriend that would hide her laugh from you?
It's usually like the smile I was feeling. That's
like that shit.
You're like, come on, son.
I hated that with a passion, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It's like I've never actually experienced this, but when people like don't like to eat in front of you.
Yeah, I've
It's
definitely.
just like, yo, son, this is an essential part of life. You're telling me you ain't like. You
But
ain't
at like
gonna
the
eat?
same time, like I don't mind eating in front of people.
Yeah.
But when I'm like, hey man, you want to go out and get some lunch or something? They're like, yeah, I'll come with you, but I'm not gonna eat. Well, that's just fucking weird.
Yeah,
dude.
no, that's a whole nother level. Yeah, it's just like, don't fucking say you'll come, dude. Like, we'll hang out after. Like, I'm gonna shove my burrito into my face, and you're just gonna sit there like talking at me. Like, I'm like,
And you know what's funny is I was thinking of saying Chipotle, and you went straight to burrito.
Yeah, dude. Because I feel like that's like the ultimate food where someone's like, "Oh, dude, you going to Chipotle?" Yeah, dude, I'll come hang out. And he was like, "Oh, cool, you're hungry?" I was like, "No, dude, I'll just hang out." And I'm like, "Don't fucking
that's
watch
just,
me." It's because of
like
burrito.
no, I'll find someone else to go with.
It's
me.
like time
Actually,
consuming too. Like, you know, it's like I'm gonna be there for a minute. Like,
Yeah, dude.
I pause about halfway through.
You don't quickly eat a Chipotle burrito
No.
unless it's made poorly and tiny.
Or you just got somewhere to be.
Fair.
You know,
But at the same time, you don't
you
eat
like
at
you like you
Chipotle
like
now.
yeah you're like, you know, dude, okay, like we got to be there when. Well, I'm on my way to get food right now. Oh, so I got to be there right now. Fuck. Okay, well I'm already on my way, so I'm gonna sub at Chipotle first, regardless, and then just eat there. Sorry, man.
God. Sponsor us, Chipotle.
At Chipotle tweets, I see you.
I remember I was in a we used to go to Chipotle so much,
Religiously.
like multiple times a week. It got to the point to where me and Sean would walk in, and they would have our orders ready by the time we got to the counter. There was a time where Sean forgot his wallet, and they gave him a free burrito because of how much he'd been there. And what really blew my mind is, like, we were very friendly with all the people that worked there.
Yeah.
And one day, one of the like managers came up to us, and since we were like the young hip kids coming into Chipotle, straight up asked us for marketing advice. Like they were just like, "We got this whole marketing budget. What should we do?" And I'm like, "What the fuck?
You're like, I don't know. Fucking,
I'm 18."
You're like, make pizzas, bro. They're like, oh, pizzas, yeah.
You know what's funny? They actually like
Yeah,
Chipotle
I know.
owns,
That's what I was. This is what I was making a joke about. I would never eat a fucking pizza from Chipotle.
right. You ever been to Moe's?
Moe's?
Yeah.
Is that like Chipotle 2.0?
It's like Chipotle if it knew that it was white people food, but like Mexican.
That's Zaba's, 100%, bro. I was actually just at Zaba's. So like,
But you know
being Hispanic, I judge every every Mexican food. Even like authentic Mexican restaurants, I'm like, yeah, this is
like
the whitest shit
Moe's
ever.
is like Tex-Mex, except rather than like the large Hispanic community that resides in Texas, it's like the white version of Texas,
it's a really
taking their culture and imitating it.
It's like there's nothing spicy on the menu at all.
Right, like, and they have ground beef.
Oh, like the tacos. You're like, yeah, excuse me, could I get a street taco, please? Yeah, with beef. What's carne asada?
See, I love ground beef.
Dude,
Because
so I guess this comes from
we're
like
white
me
people.
working at Del Taco.
That's a white people thing.
Yeah, dude. Carne asada is so much better. You've had carne asada before?
But not like real carne asada.
Oh, bro, I will fucking grill some. I love grilling. I never get to like eat real meat because Sarah doesn't eat meat. So by circumstance, I just eat chicken all the fucking time. Carne asada is the fucking jam. The jam.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually like legitimately had carne asada.
Oh, it's good. It's good stuff.
I can imagine.
Get some bread. Make a torta out of that bitch.
Have you ever been to Fat Frank's?
No. What's that?
It's another burrito place.
You know, it's chock full of white
Yeah.
burrito places.
I've had their carne
Appropriating my culture.
asada.
Yeah, that's all right. I love Roberto. So.
Right, and what's funny is Roberto's is like the one place I can't get into.
You're like, whoa, way too many beans on everything.
Every time people are like super drunk, hey man, we're making a Roberto's run. Yo, just get me fries. Carne asada no, just fries.
No, just fucking
Just
fries, bro. Just fries.
Give me a plain cheese quesadilla and a thing of sour cream.
You want some salsa with that? Like, nah.
Just sour cream, dude.
Nope. The fuck did I say salsa?
Look
in
at
that?
the beard. There's nothing but white above this.
WHIT.
E.
All-time best joke in dodgeball. The movie?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of the scene.
Where it's like, it's like they're at the door. It's, no one makes me bleed my own blood.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
That sounds familiar.
It's like, yeah, it's like white, WHIT.
Yeah. Yeah,
And he
yeah.
pauses for a moment. He's like, E.
I am
Ben Stiller fucking kills it.
so jealous of people who can quote movies.
That's my entire life, bro. Sarah hates it.
I can't do it to save my fucking life.
And you, like, live TV and movies.
I do. And I think that's what the problem is.
You watch too much of it?
I think the problem is that I am just consuming media at such an explosive pace that nothing is, like, ingrained.
That's fair. That's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
That being said, fucking learn quotes, son. Damn.
Dude, you wanna know what, like, my most depressing life fact is?
The way that you presented it, probably not. But yeah, go for it.
So there's a website called My Anime List that compile, like, you can.
This is already sad.
Yeah, you can compile every single anime you've ever seen and how many episodes of that anime you've seen, and it tells you how much time you've spent just watching anime.
I feel like someone with way too much time on their hands, like, created this, and then someone with way too much time on their hands also started, like, spreading this. And then you, also someone with way too much time on their hands, was like, yeah, I'll throw that in there.
Take a guess in how many days I have spent watching.
Under a year.
Whoa.
Under.
Under.
Don't come at me with, like, I calculated all my time watching anime and then be like, oh, over a year? How dare you?
Like, no, like, literally, like, so think 24-minute episodes calculated, and, like, that amount of time added up into days.
That's what I'm saying. No, the year was not.
You think out of the 26 years I will have been alive in 2 weeks, I have spent one entire year just...
You watch a lot of fucking TV. Yes, I do.
Probably if you added everything together, but just anime? Jesus. That would be so depressing.
Under 6 months?
Yes.
Really? Yeah. Oh, so this isn't as big as I thought it was. Is it months? You got months in there?
I'm not giving you any more hints. You have to make your guess.
Damn it. We'll do 3 months.
3 months?
Yeah.
Just above half of that in actual time spent. Like, if
you have a month and a half.
It was at a month and 19 days of time in my entire life.
I need this for actual TV shows.
Dude, after I added it up, I started looking for that shit, but I have forgotten so many shows that I've watched that it will never be accurate.
That's fair. I watch a lot of bullshit TV.
Yeah, I have
But then again,
The Office 4 times now.
What's your favorite episode of The Office? Do you have a favorite episode?
Ooh.
I don't have an answer whatsoever, so if you actually have one, kudos to you.
Man, I feel like there are two... I don't have favorite episodes. I have favorite moments.
Favorite moment?
Any of the, like, primetime gym pranks. Like, I know the Asian gym prank gets a lot of credit.
It's not a good one.
It's
so late in the game that it's so like
it's one of the better moments after Steve Carell left, but
you know, everyone talks shit about after Steve Carell left. Like, it's like the season that they're like, it's not as good. I'm like, nah, son.
There's
a lot of good moments, especially with
I think the best prank is after that.
What's homegirl's name? She was in Doctor Who.
Catherine Tate.
Catherine Tate, when she's boss and Andy's trying to get back into it.
Great.
That's a fucking great couple episodes. She's so good.
Like, for that same reason, well, actually, not even. Like, I was gonna say for that same reason that we were talking about earlier, where just like they exist, so I don't like them.
Exist, yeah.
I just really did not like.
Oh,
her
you didn't like her in Doctor Who? I remember that.
And so because of that, she left a bad taste in my mouth going forward.
No, I think in The Office where they're like. In when they're in Florida, like, she plays like a good, like...
It's in Florida where I think
like
the best prank in the show comes. In the hotel room?
Where he has him go into the bed and everything like that?
No. So, Dwight's coming up to get Jim or something, and like the room's trash flipped. There's writing on the wall, and it looks like Jim's like
yeah, I've been
abducted.
up and at it since 5. Yeah.
And then just at the very last moment, Jim just falls out of the closet.
That's a good one.
That prank is golden.
I don't know if that's the best prank. I'm gonna have to rewatch the entire of The Office. Get back to you on that.
Yeah. You know what I also like? We can move from The Office after this, but what I think is severely underrated in all of The Office is Dwight's pranks on Jim. The entire fucking snowball fight episode where Jim gets like psychologically traumatized. That's great, man.
Kevin. I think Kevin is the most underappreciated character in all The Office.
I love Kevin.
Kevin is hilarious. That Daryl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Greg Robinson. Love that dude. Especially in The Office. Yeah, well, no, I've never seen that, but just like The Office, like Craig Robinson in general, I think is just such a great actor, and like his like presentation of jokes and like his seriousness, like top tier actor.
And he can like sing and play
music. Yeah, that's a whole nother level. Yeah, but like his like acting, so on.
You know what I'm really sad got canned? Ghosted.
Dude, that's yeah.
Adam Scott and Craig Robinson?
Yeah, man.
Dude, the amount of potential that could have gone into that.
I think Adam Scott is just on one of my favorite, like...
He's like one of us
comedian actors? Yeah, he's, I mean...
Have you seen the video of him reacting to Mark Hamill surprising him?
No.
He was on Jimmy Kimmel, and like Jimmy Kimmel gets him talking about Mark Hamill, and then they just start playing, I think, the Star Wars music, and Mark Hamill walks out, and dude starts like tearing up.
I think I too would cry.
He's one of us that made it. He is a nerd that is funny and went somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Ah, man, that dude's great.
Yeah.
That entire like, oh man, there's so many good actors that like are like in that same sort of like genre that are just fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. Who's your favorite Star Wars character?
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ewan McGregor or like old Obi? I'm just playing. I already know that answer.
I mean, like I grew up on the prequels, so
me too.
I think the prequel
they're fine.
Yeah,
they're
I don't mind them.
Stop crying
like,
about it.
So one thing I have to recommend to you, there's like a dude that broke down and rewrote the prequels. Like it's a YouTube video where he like takes episode 1 and he's like, this is what I would do, and then storyboards over it.
Yeah.
And then does it for 2 and 3, and it becomes such a good fucking movie. And it's just depressing. And like every time I rewatch the prequels, I'm like, why does episode 2 even exist? Other than more fucking screen time for Windu.
I don't know, man. Jango Fett was in there. Fucking Jango Fett was in there. Talk about the clones. What was the fight at the end?
The fight at the end was literally the only good thing about that movie, and it's
well,
still...
no. It's like so they're in the Coliseum.
Yeah.
And then like that's when you first see the clones kind of come in. Yeah, there's not a lot that happens in fucking Attack of the Clones.
It's literally just a whole bunch of shitty build-up between Anakin and Padme.
Yeah.
And it's
and
just...
the fight at the end.
Like...
Anakin loses his fucking hands at the end of that, right?
Yeah.
God damn.
Poor guy. No, he only loses one hand, right?
Or I think so. No, I think it's just the one.
Because I think, like,
I don't think anyone... anyone...
One arm is the trope for Star Wars movies.
Yeah, I don't think anyone loses both hands. Someone should lose both of their hands. Right. That'd be fucking tight.
One hell of a twist.
Yeah, but the Attack of the Clones is the best Star Wars character ever. Jango Fett.
Oh, I thought you said Attack of the Clones is the best Star Wars character. Nah. I'm like, I don't think you understand how characters work.
I don't know what is the best Star Wars movie. Fucking
8.
Force Awakens? No. Last Jedi? You think Last Jedi is
It's. I think it goes. Because 3 is so good, and it comes down to like, I don't think there is like a best Star Wars movie or I have a favorite Star Wars movie. I just have those moments.
Yeah.
Like there is absolutely nothing that beats fucking Darth Maul. Absolutely nothing in all of Star Wars beats just hearing that operatic theme start playing. Like, that is the epitome of what it is to me.
That's fucking Star Wars.
To be Star Wars. But then you have, like, everything that goes down in episode 3.
Yeah, fucking the last, like, duel of fates.
Grievous fight.
Yeah.
Such an underrated
Order 66.
character.
Yeah, fucking so much happens in that movie. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. 3's a good one.
Yoda fucking even gets in on it.
Yeah.
It's the only time you see Yoda fucking get down, huh?
No, you see him fight Dooku in 2.
Oh, yeah, at the very...
I believe it's 2.
Yeah, at the Attack of the Clones, he gets down and he does a fucking... Yeah. That was super small, but then he really gets down.
Yeah, when he fights the Emperor.
Does Emperor pull a fucking lightsaber on him? No, right? Emperor never pulls a lightsaber.
Yes, he
does he?
I think the Emperor dual wields?
No.
Against Windu. Because Windu comes in with 3 other Jedi. That's where Kit Fisto dies.
He does not fucking... Does he pull lightsaber on him?
He 100% pulls a lightsaber.
Yeah.
He has a red lightsaber.
Yeah.
I might be mistaking the 2, but he definitely has a lightsaber. You only see it the one time.
Yeah. Because after that, he doesn't fucking do shit.
Do you think Snoke's dead?
100%.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I don't.
Why the fuck would he? So, like, everyone's fucking bent out of shape for, like, Snoke not having, like, the fucking backstory that everyone was like, oh, who is he, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, he was a fucking plot device, you know?
Yeah, but then so is the idea of Rey's parentage. And
yeah, but then...
I think a lot of people just have too hard of a time believing that every single important question that they had after episode 7 was literally nothing.
Yeah, and it's just like, dude, fucking, in the Star Wars universe where, like, everything has a fucking huge backstory, it's like, dude, it's a fucking throwaway question. Let it go. And I think, like, with Star Wars, everyone's just like, no, dude, there needs to be fucking 17 books about this one thing. And it's just like, or it could mean fucking nothing. And it's just like, dude, if Snoke dies, like, he fucking died in a way that no one else has fucking died other than Darth Maul. Yeah.
I disagree.
Who else died?
I think that the way that Kylo killed Snoke is very reminiscent of the way that Darth Vader killed the Emperor.
No, I'm saying, like, literally cut in half.
Cut in half.
Yeah. Not symbolically. I'm saying, like,
and to be fair, Darth Maul did not die.
Yeah, fucking, you know, whatever. I'm saying, like, he got fucking sabered in half, and so it's like, he just fucking died, dude. Like, that's it. And it's like, everyone's like, oh, well, who's Rey's parents? It's like, dude, fucking no one. No one that matters. And that's it.
And, you know, that's still open to change.
It is, unfortunately, but it's...
I think they fucked up so bad by having first movie written, directed J.J. Abrams, second Rian Johnson, third J.J. Abrams. As much as I love 90% of what Rian Johnson did with The Last Jedi, he either should have directed all 3 or Abrams should have done all 3. Because I feel like they were written one by one rather than having written the sequel.
Rian Johnson directed fucking Godzilla, right? That's who I'm thinking of. He did Godzilla, right?
Did he?
My phone's fucking recording. I need you to look this up. So, okay, so confirm that theory that he directed Godzilla for me.
On it.
On it. And in this time, I'll sing you a sweet, sweet song. Godzilla, King of Monsters, is gonna be the best fucking movie of 2019.
That movie does look so fucking good. He directed Looper.
Yeah, he also directed Looper. No, who the fuck? Garth Edwards directed Godzilla. That's who I'm fucking thinking of.
Yeah, it looks like the only other, like, relevant movie he was a part of was Looper.
Shout out Looper. So... Okay, so my entire theory is completely flawed. Looper is fucking great. Oh, he also did Brick.
I don't know what Brick is.
Oh, watch Brick.
That sounds familiar, though.
With Joseph Gordon-Levitt and the other dude from Looper. You've seen Looper, right?
Fucking Paul Dano.
No, Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Paul Dano was also in Looper. I figured you would have just said Bruce Willis
Who the
instead
fuck is
of
Paul Dano?
Paul Dano.
Yeah,
Paul Dano was
the older dude.
No, he was the younger dude. I believe he was also in. Have you seen Into the Wild? With Emil Hirsch?
Yeah.
I think he was in that.
Pull up a picture of Paul Dano. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. I love Into the Wild and I love Looper. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. Paul Dano. Paul Dano.
I think that's his name. Yeah. He was in There Will Be Blood.
Mm.
Have you seen this dude?
Oh. The most secondary character ever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no. He was into the Wild? Who was he?
I believe he was in another movie that...
He was not into the Wild.
No, it was Girl Next Door. Because that also had
With Emil Hirsch.
Yeah.
Now we're connecting the dots.
Yeah. 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Shout out Kevin Bacon.
He was Seth in Looper.
Yeah. His character dies. Spoiler alerts.
Shocking. Yep, Girl Next Door. Into the Wild was such a good movie. That
yeah.
I I feel like Into the Wild was the first movie I ever watched that gave me wanderlust. I think I'm using that word right.
I think you are too. I don't know if that... I don't know, dude. I've never been like too much like of the fucking like forest people and shit.
Not. I don't necessarily
like adventure. Adventure, I'm all for, but like
isn't that what wanderlust is? Is you just get up and go somewhere and like travel?
I don't know, dude. I just fucking flew across the country for the first time last year, so.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or for the second time last year.
Yeah. I just want to make sure it's not like foresty.
Foresty. Like Forrest Whitaker.
I swear to God, if the movie's the first thing that shows up.
What, Wanderlust? Oh, the movie one.
With Paul Rudd and I think Jennifer Aniston.
I think so. You know who's a fucking great actor? Paul Rudd.
Fucking A.
I would say very. I don't. Top
know
10.
If, I
Top
don't
10
know if
for
I
sure.
would call him a great actor as much as I would call him a consistent actor.
One of my favorites.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I wouldn't. The only reason I wouldn't consider him great.
What's the difference between
range? Paul Rudd can play the exact same role the exact same way every single time, like Michael Cera or Jesse Eisenberg, but he just comes off as more consistent, I think. But then you have like the Robert De Niro. You can have Robert De Niro in any one of his massively popular old movies, and then you have fucking Dirty Grandpa.
That's because he's an old ass man now, as compared to like the fucking consistent mobster that he played.
Right, but he was always just like a very solid actor, you know.
I think he was a consistent mobster that turned into an old man that became
but
a raunchy grandpa.
Okay, so let me take it back. Paul Rudd will never win an award for acting.
I gotta see if he's won any awards currently.
I don't think he has.
Because he was in Clueless, where he was like dumb teenager. He's done multiple like comedy movies. He's done Ant-Man. He's done there's a movie where there's
Role Models.
No, he's done Role Models. That's still his same range.
You're talking about the one on Netflix with the disabled kid?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's still Paul Rudd, but it was in a more serious light.
Exactly. But it was still Paul Rudd.
But I think his range comes from doing the superhero movie.
I don't think that's range because
selling point. But Robert De Niro's fucking early career was nothing but mobster movies.
So let's change it then. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Fucking Titanic. Titanic. He did the Romeo and Juliet movie, the new wave one.
The Departed. I mean, like if you took Leo from The Departed and Leo from Inception. Two very different Leos. Two very different ranges.
Okay, so no, Leo in Departed, or
and then you have Leo in Django, and then you have Leo.
Okay, yeah, that's that's
Leo,
range. No, that's real fucking range.
Yeah, Robert De Niro is just the first one that came to mind, but like
Leo's got Leo's got range. Yeah.
If you watch a Paul Rudd movie, you know exactly what you're gonna get. You are gonna get sarcastic wit, handled perfectly, no matter what role.
But I mean, that's still a great actor.
It is, but it's not. It's consistent acting. Like, Paul Rudd's a typecast. Leonardo DiCaprio has range. You can put Leo in a number of different roles. You can put Tom Hanks in a number of different roles. You have Forrest Gump, and then you have Saving Private Ryan.
Then you have The Terminal. You
know who I think's, if we're like a better example of someone who can do what Paul Rudd does and do what like a Leo can do?
What Paul Rudd can do, but with also range. Go for it.
Ben Stiller.
What's his range?
Secret Life of Walter Mitty versus Dodgeball.
Okay. Yeah, but Secret Life of Walter Mitty is not as great.
It's not an award-winning movie, but like it shows that his sole acting capabilities is not based around sarcasm and humor. Mm-hmm. There's actual range to his ability
I feel like even in his serious roles, it's like dry humor. It's just like Night at the Museum.
But Night at the Museum's like
it's like a kids movie, but
yeah, it's supposed to be funny. Secret Life of Walter Mitty isn't supposed to be funny. It's supposed to like because that was another movie that gave me Wanderlust. Like it was a very serious and grand and I don't want to say depressing, but it had depressing vibes to it.
Yeah. You know what gives me that? Truman Show.
I've never seen it.
What?
Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
I've never seen a lot of early Jim Carrey.
I think Jim Carrey and Robin Williams are like some of my great like influences, especially Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's
fucking crazy.
Yeah, but I think that's what makes him so great. Same thing with like Robin Williams, like he was so out there. I mean,
have you seen the Andy Kaufman documentary with him?
Yeah, I think that was very isolated in like how he approached it. Like, but you look at Ace Ventura, you look at Liar Liar, and just stuff like that where he's just so animated, and I think a lot of people.
Like I'm not trying to discount.
No. Like when I'm trying to explain like what I see, like his like the way that he acts, he's very animated. He's like his body moving, everything. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think enough people like do that or understand like how you can really like show that off. And I think with that Andy Kaufman thing, Andy Kaufman was really great at like being that like dancing figure on stage where you're like, oh, I'm attracted to this person, even though he's just playing the bongos. Where like, dude, you can play the fucking bongos like this, or you can play the bongos like this. It's that fucking joke in Get Him to the Greek. Oh, dude, I'm just the African. I'm the guy that does the African face.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, oh, you'll see that because now it's just like, he's doing the African face. But like Andy Kaufman was like playing the fucking bongos and going all crazy, whereas compared to anyone can play the fucking bongos.
Yeah.
So
I mean, even Jim Carrey's another one where you have Liar Liar, and then even though it wasn't like regally
and then the Truman Show,
the number 23 as well. There was no inkling of comedy in that movie.
Yeah, I heard that movie was not good. I've never seen it.
It was. I saw it when I was young, and I didn't really have like critical opinions to formulate.
That movie sucks.
But I didn't mind it. Yeah. Like I didn't hate it. It doesn't hold a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah. Oh, a question that we talked about on the last podcast. Have you ever walked out of a movie?
No.
No? No. What was the worst movie you've ever seen in theaters?
In theaters?
Yeah. That you could have walked out of?
I don't think I've ever come close.
No.
But the one movie I remember, I never got the vibe to walk out of it.
You were just like, fuck, this sucks. I got to sit all the way through this.
Two movies. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Fair.
Which I saw in 3D.
You paid the full fucking dollar.
It was like one of the first 3D movies that I saw too. That one, at the time, I was sort of enamored with everything,
Yeah.
but in hindsight, it was just bad.
Yeah.
And I think it was called The Apparition. It was a scary movie with one of the chicks from Twilight, and I want to say Draco Malfoy.
Apparition.
Yeah.
Not ringing a bell.
I just remember I went to see it with two of my friends, and the entire fucking time I was watching that movie, all I was doing was making fun of it.
Apparition. That one does not ring a bell.
Just want to make sure.
And make sure it's called Apparition with Draco Malfoy.
Yeah, Ashley Greene. Oh, it was Sebastian Stan.
Fucking Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Bucky Barnes.
Shout out Bucky Barnes, brother.
Come on. I feel like Draco Malfoy was in this movie. If he's not, I'm gonna be...
What's his fucking name?
Oh, shit.
Draco Malfoy. I had his fucking name, and then you kept saying Draco Malfoy, and I was like...
So did I. Tom Felton.
There you go. I couldn't even pretend to remember that. What's your favorite movie you ever seen in the theaters?
Ooh, see, that's hard because for me it's less of a like one that stands out and more of what was the last movie that I saw that was really good to replace the last one.
Yeah, that's fair.
And for me that was Avengers.
See, I was trying to think past Avengers. Avengers was like all I came out of.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good movie though.
Yeah, Avengers was top tier.
Yeah, so solid. Like, truthfully.
Yeah. What's your favorite Harry Potter movie?
I'm gonna give my fake answer, which is Chamber of Secrets, because there's a giant snake in it. Love snakes. Shout out snakes.
You're terrified of snakes.
Yeah, I'm terrified, but also shout out snakes. I might say the last one. This is when the most shit happens in all of that series.
Yeah.
You get all the wizards, all the like everything just happens,
Yeah.
and then it's the most that they show Nagini.
The snake?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fucking
Horcrux, so.
yeah. It's the most they show that snake in the entire movie, which is fucking my favorite character.
Yeah. Prisoner of Azkaban.
Ooh, also a good one.
Yeah, Prisoner of Azkaban was like when I was growing up, my grandma bought me every Harry Potter book as it came out at like the Scholastic book fairs. Never read any of them. But then like it turned into a tradition where me, my mom, and my grandma would go see the Harry Potters as they came out, and then it was just like me and my mom because my grandma stopped going to see movies.
Yeah.
And then I remember going to see the last two Harry Potter movies as like the last few family movies we went to saw before my parents split. And I think I only watched Deathly Hallows Part 2 once until I recently rewatched everything. And Prisoner of Azkaban is still just, it's one of my favorites. And dude, there's something about that series that is so inspiring.
It's so good. Like, that series is so good. I don't like Deathly Hallows Part 1. I feel like the only reason they did it was to like make more money off the series.
Oh, 100%.
But like Deathly Hallows Part 1 I could give a shit less about. But like the entire series as a whole, like Sarah loves those like movies, books, but like the imagery and everything like that. I think that everyone makes jokes about like that's like British acting in a nutshell because it has literally every fucking British actor in it.
Yeah.
And it's like I love British like
everything that the BBC does is amazing.
Exactly. And and that's just like what I love. Like I love the Mighty Boosh with a passion, so I just anything British I'm like I'm all there
dude.
for.
Luther, Doctor Who, Sherlock,
Mighty Boosh. So like anything like that, I just love British anything, you know what I'm saying? So like that's what Harry Potter is, like as much as it is like geared towards like American audience, like I'm like, nah, this shit is British as fuck. Even like the jokes and like everything like that. It's like it's such British humor that it's like, goes over the head of some people.
I mean, dude, even the new Fantastic Beasts series takes place in America, still has all the British actors.
Exactly. Saving Grace in Fantastic Beasts was I don't know his name, Homeboy, New York Homeboy.
Oh yeah, dude. That dude is...
Yeah, you don't...
I don't know his name.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but like...
To me, he's Balls of Fury guy.
No, fuck. Randy Daytona. Randy Daytona. Yeah, no. He's like... I think he's the saving grace in that movie.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
He puts everything in... Like, he settles that. I think he gives Harry Potter... That Harry Potter universe, like, the grounded feel that, like, Harry Potter does not have. Whereas like Harry's the fucking muggle, and like he's
like the only like grounding it had to reality were the Dursleys.
Yeah,
and that just portrayed humans as being super shitty people.
Exactly. But like this dude was like, oh no, I want to be like a part of this, and you're like, dude, just fucking let him be a part of it. At the end,
and then like
at the end you're like, oh, this is it. I can fucking cry.
Heartbreaking.
I could cry.
I did not anticipate him being in the new one, but I am so glad he is.
Oh, dude, because they fucking knew. It was like, oh, this dude is fucking the connection. He's the key.
There's no way they could have made the sequels without him. He is the Ron Weasley of this series.
100%. Because if not, you just had that fucking dude just running around like, what the fuck is he gonna do in like the next movie?
Right.
My monsters got out again, and be like, are you serious?
What's great is serious? If you rewatch that movie, yes, Eddie Redmayne is a fantastic...
I've rewatched it like 300 times.
He's a fantastic
It's on HBO.
actor.
That's all I got.
But he doesn't bring much to that movie.
No, because he's so awkward. Like, he's like I don't know how people react. They tried way too hard
to make that motherfucker a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, oh goddamn. Like that dude is not likable whatsoever. Like everyone around him is like what makes the movie. Even like the beasts make that movie more than he does.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Little Groot thingy?
Oh my god. Oh, what was this fucking I don't Nibbler?
No, that's the
the thing that fucking steals everything.
Yeah.
That dude was adorable.
Right?
Never once have I felt so like compelled to buy a fucking Funko Pop over some dumb shit, but I saw that and I was like, I'd buy the fuck out of this one. Mm-hmm. I'd go find the exclusive one and buy that motherfucker.
I'm a little disappointed at the twist that movie had, only because...
Oh, dude, you saw it a mile away.
But yes, I would have liked to see more Colin Farrell. I really like Colin Farrell. I also don't like that they gave his bitch ass an American accent. He has He has a wonderful accent.
Is he... Oh, he is Irish. Great. Yeah. He does have I just remember him in Miami Vice with him and Jamie Foxx, and then he's like, oh, fucking la da da, and it's just like, oh, dude, you're Miami Vice with Jamie Foxx, and you're like, Lloyd fucking da, like, these fucking bears, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, dude. Have you seen, I think it's In Bruges with Mad Eye Mooney? Yeah, it's Colin Farrell and Mad Eye Mooney. It's all good.
It's real.
Yeah, I remember I watched that movie once. I don't remember if it was good or not, but part of me feels like it was, so I recommend it.
So this is what I'm telling you now.
Yeah. I think his name it's not Brandon Gleeson, I think. But it's Jamal Gleeson's father, and he plays Mad Eye Mooney in Harry Potter.
Mm.
He was also in Gangsters in New York at the very beginning, right? Yeah.
I was like, dude, you're asking the wrong person.
Yeah, good movie.
What's your biggest fear?
Spiders?
I think I knew that, actually.
Yeah, it's probably...
That's like your constant one, isn't it?
Yeah, spiders and flying bugs that I'm unaware of.
Fly?
Yeah. Like, if I don't know it's a fly and it's near me, I'm running away.
I 100% knew that you fucking are deadly afraid of spiders.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. There's a video going around of, I think, some singer. Bitch has a tarantula come out of her mouth.
Her mouth. We don't condone the use of derogatory terms towards women. unless she's a bitch.
I just have to assume that she
a bitch.
can't be a nice person and have a spider in her mouth for seconds.
You know, realistically, like, if you're putting bugs in your fucking mouth, like, come on, son.
Right?
I ain't about it.
Like think of that for me. If you just like saw a video of a girl and then all of a sudden there was just a snake that started coming out of her mouth and going up her nose and shit, that wouldn't make you feel comfortable.
No, dude, nothing about snakes makes me feel comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatsoever.
But this is coming out of a person's mouth.
Yeah, no, dude. Like, that's I think like not even like on a scale, because I'm pretty sure I've seen the same video that you have.
Yeah.
It's like not even like a scared of it. It's just like, dude, that's fucking disgusting. Like,
dude, it's a tarantula.
It's a fucking spider. It's a fucking a creature of nature.
That is terrifying, and that can't feel good.
Ugh.
It's hairy. Like, could you imagine if it haired in her mouth? You know the tarantulas do that. They like secrete their hair, and it gets all itchy and shit as a defense mechanism.
I feel like this is you looking up why spiders are so scary.
No,
because they fucking hair.
I watched a lot of 72 Most Deadliest Animals, and spiders come up quite a bit.
I would imagine so, actually. That makes a lot of sense.
It's the worst. What's your biggest fear? Snakes?
Snakes, yeah. 100% snakes.
I don't know why when you asked me that question, I assume it was supposed to be like some like resounding feeling of dying alone or like something more emotionally impacting.
Nah, you know what's funny? Like, I feel like I have like such easygoing like outlook on life. Like, yeah, dude, like, you know, you're gonna be single, you're gonna be fucking single. It is what it is. Or it's like someone cheated on you, fuck, like, dude, you got fucking cheated on. It is what it is, you know? But like my irrational fears of fucking shit that has never like happened, or I'll probably never, like, I've never seen a snake well, I've seen like people like pet snakes before, like, but yeah, dude, I have a fucking irrational fear of snakes, you know?
Yeah.
To where,
fear of spiders.
yeah, like I don't know, I've never seen a snake in the wild, but I don't know what I would do if I
feel like
saw a
that's
snake in
what would
spider.
scare me. Like, I don't get bothered by like pet snakes or stuff like
Yeah,
that. But like if I saw a snake in the wild, nah, dog.
yeah, like I don't know, but like if I know, like, I've been to reptile rooms before and stuff like that, so I've seen those before, but seeing a fucking snake in the wild, dude, I don't know what.
Like, could you just imagine hearing the rattling?
If you hear the rattling, it's too late.
No.
Yeah, because if you're hearing the rattling, it's because the snake is already defensive,
yeah.
you know? So, if you're hearing the rattling, it's done, son. Like, you fucking stop. But, like, if I were to just see, like, I don't know. I really don't know. And it's not even like a fucking giant anaconda. It's just like, yeah, I've never seen any sort of snake in the wild. So, I'm not trying to press my luck.
Right.
So.
And what's weird is like if I just see a spider, I'm done. Mm-hmm. Like, you own a spider, I'm good. Don't.
Who the fuck owns a spider?
People own spiders, and I don't.
Yeah, I know.
I don't get it.
That's
like
fucking,
scorpions.
it's like mice and shit like that. Like, I get it. You're trying to be fucking like humanitarian of the world, but like, yeah, dude, it's a fucking rat. It's a rat. You own a fucking rat. Like, they live in the streets eating garbage.
It's true.
And you're like, oh, this is my baby. This is my little baby
They're
rat. And
literally
this is his name,
experiments.
Cornelius. And it's like, you named a fucking street monster.
And they have short life expectancies too, don't
Yeah,
they?
dude, how can you get fucking attached to something that's gonna die relatively quickly? At least my
Right.
dog, like, that motherfucker's gonna live to be at least like 10.
Yeah, that's
a decent amount of my life.
like a solid fraction of your life.
25 to 35. From being a newlywed to having a fucking kid, where my kid would be like, oh my god, because when we're dying, I'd be like, it's time.
Yep.
We had a good run. And I'd be like,
You gotta get a fish.
I'd be like, you dumb
Prep that
bitch,
shit.
you're dying on me. And Sarah would be like, are you really calling our dog a dumb bitch on its deathbed? I'd be like, going out how she lived. Dumb bitch.
Call back to the last
yeah,
episode.
Yeah. Once a dumb bitch, always a dumb bitch. I love you. I miss you.
Yeah, man. Fucking a year, 2 years. No.
No, dude, fuck that shit.
Like, I remember my last dog. We had him for like 12 years. The dog I got now is 12 or 13, and
it's coming up real fucking quick, dude.
It's terrifying.
You're gonna have to buy a new fucking dog.
Yeah.
You gonna buy a new dog?
Maybe. It depends on where I am, how I react to it. I have a strong
Oh,
feeling.
you'll be fucking crushed.
Yeah, I have a strong
feeling. You were crushed
feeling.
by the last one. You already had one backup.
Yeah. Like, fucking... Well, I wasn't as bad with Bruno.
Mm.
Just because it was so shortly after that my mom died, and then that was just like, oh, cool. I
Oh,
have no
yeah.
time to be sad about this.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but yeah, no, like, Ruggs has turned into, like, an anxiety dog for me, and so it's just like, okay, cool, when you're done, I'm done. You know? That's gonna be just, like, a week
Good night. Good night, folks. It's been real. It's been fun.
Yeah. I just spent, like, fucking stupid amounts of money on that
Way
dog,
too much money on that dog.
Yeah. Dude, I like how you said you try to keep the pace, and I've only had 4 beers out of this 12-pack, and there's 2 left.
You've not had 4, you've had 5, my guy. I have one of yours down here.
Oh, do you? Okay. I was like, damn.
You try to make me into an alcoholic. How dare you? So this might be a little deep ski, but you and I have something very much in common. We lost someone very close to us, very close to each other, and we talked about it at the time, but now it's been 2-3 years.
Like days away from 2 years.
2 years. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yours was a little bit later.
Yeah, I think it was a day or two before Sarah's birthday.
Fuck, it's coming. Oh, it's coming up real fucking quick.
Yeah.
Huh? If you don't want to talk about it, it's cool.
No, I mean, the only thing I would mention is that it's not just us. Like, it was literally you 1 month, me the next month, and then Chief right after.
Yeah. Just some. Yeah. His was not a month apart. It was very close though.
I think it might have been end of August.
No, beginning of August.
No, I was beginning of August. He was end of August. Because
No. I think his was end of July.
No, it was after me.
Because we met.
Because I was working at Banjo when he told me.
We talked about it.
I didn't start Banjo until after my mom passed.
Okay, so I might have been at a different party where this happened. Because I remember we talked about it. We were all 3 were together. And everything had just happened. I don't know if Chief had left to go see his dad off. But I know we had already been to your mom's funeral. My brother had already passed away. So I'm not sure where his dad falls in between that. But yeah. It was all back to back for us.
Dude, it was like 4 months of death.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Didn't Keenan also pass away?
I believe was either late August or early September. Mm-hmm. My dog right before my mom. Yeah.
Your dog passed away right before your mom?
We had to put him down, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that was before.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so on that subject, that was heavy shit. Like,
yeah.
I lost my brother, which is like huge, but like I could only imagine like losing your parent. You know, I mean, if you don't want to talk about it, but I mean, like, what was that feeling like? Not to like talk about like losing your mom, but like what was it like to lose someone that is supposed to like grow old with you, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It was terrifying at first because I was the one that found her.
Yeah, I couldn't fucking imagine that.
I mean, like I just and I remember that morning because I was unemployed at the time. I was about to get a job. And I had woken up and my mom, she worked later in the afternoon, but it was her day off that day.
Yeah.
And so I woke up and she snores really loud. And I wasn't thinking anything of it, but it was super quiet.
Yeah.
And my mom has to pick up my grandma at like 2 o'clock. And so at like 2:30, I get a call. And I didn't think to like go wake her up. I was like, she's tired. She was probably up all night watching something on Netflix. So I let her rest. And then by the time I got home from taking her to work, I was just like, okay, well, it's getting late now. I'll wake her up. Didn't wake up. It was like, I remember for a long time, like I could like relive the screams that I made, like trying to wake her up, shouting her name. And dude, it was terrifying. And for an even longer time, like just the sheer anxiety that I had when I came home, because I was working nights.
Yeah.
And like I was terrified of people sleeping. Like every night that I come home from work, I'll go and my grandma keeps her door open and I'll just stand there and watch and wait until I see her chest rising and falling.
Yeah.
You know, like that's something that's going to be ingrained into me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
But I think a lot of me being able to get past like the sadness that came with it was just immediately starting work, and that work being extremely mind-numbing and terrible. It was probably the worst job I've ever had.
Yeah.
Because it was just, you come into work for 8 hours, you're just doing like simple data entry, and you have to do it for 8 hours. Like you can't fuck off, you can't fuck around, you just have to do it to meet the quota and then go home.
Yeah.
And it was because of that I was able to like, I don't want to say that I was burying the feelings, but I was pushing them off to a point to where I was more like mentally stable in order to deal with them.
Yeah. There's other shit going on to where it wasn't the prime focus.
Yeah. Like I had to move on with my life, even though like the one like best friend that has always been there for me fucking wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, that was actually one of the fights that I had with an ex-girlfriend at one point. Was, I mean, I wouldn't say that I was a shitty son, but there were times where I wasn't the best son.
Yeah.
Like, I knew that I could get mad at my mom and take certain things out on my mom, and even though we were mad at each other and we were yelling, she was my mom, I was her son, there was always going to be forgiveness. Yeah. It was an outlet that I should have handled differently, but it was helpful. And I was lucky enough to be unemployed for a few months leading up to that. So I got to actually spend a lot of time with my mom. Like, I got my mom into Pokemon Go. My car had broken down one night, and fucking I was using her car while I drove her to work and picked her up. And one night we came home, and my mom was like, oh my God, there's a Pikachu around here. And so we got rugs, and we started walking around the neighborhood trying to find it, and we couldn't. And that was like one of the last memories that I got to have with her.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's like, crazy.
It's weird, man. Even now, like, I still think about her so much.
What's the most recent thought that you've had about her? Is there anything like that kind of connects to like what you're going through right now, or like anything like that?
I mean, it's less about the things that I'm going through and more about like I just watched an episode of Orange is the New Black where it's very mother-son heavy and stuff like that. Like, I found myself being significantly more emotional when it comes to, like, watching media and stuff like that.
Or just, like, mom and son, you're like...
Yeah, I mean, just family in general. I'll find a way to relate it. But I, like... She was always the person that I would talk to when I had stupid ideas. And I knew that even though it was stupid, it was something I wanted to do, and she would back me up on it. And the first one that comes to mind is when I quit banjo. Yeah. Like, everyone I told was like, dude, it's a stupid fucking idea. Find a job first and then quit. Yeah. And I remember wanting to talk to my mom about it so goddamn much, because she would be the only one that would be like, do it. It's stupid, but do it and I'll have your back. Yeah. And that was like the first time I had a dream about her since she passed. And that was October 30th. Or around that area, because that was my last day. And now it's just like moments like that where it's like, okay, I want to do this. stupid thing or this far-fetched thing, or I want to be able to tell her that, oh, hey, I'm writing the story, or stuff like that. Like, that's a thought I have a lot, is like, I always try to envision a book that I have written, and at the beginning of every book, there's like those few words that are like, oh, well, this is for so-and-so.
Yeah.
And I'd always envisioned making it something for my mom so that she could see it, and now it's something that's going to be for my mom because she'll never see it.
Yeah. I feel it.
Death is fucking crazy.
Yeah, man. You never think about it until like it happens.
Yeah, and what's weird is that was always like one of my irrational fears. Was
Really?
like, yeah, is I would like a family member would die and I would have to find them. But at the same time that it was an irrational fear, it was never something that gave me anxiety. Like, it was never something real. It was just like that crazy.
It's never something that you
never happen.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if I think of like a spider in my bed, like that gives me legitimate anxiety. And until that day, like, oh, cool, you know.
Yeah.
And then it just fucking changes your world.
I was the opposite. I never thought it would happen. I never thought like it'd be a thing until it was, and now it's like, oh fuck, like this is super real. Like a lot of people should be more like transparent on like what's happening and like what could happen, and like now like especially like getting married and everything like that. It's my family and everything. It's just. It's a whole new world, you know, like the same where you'd never think someone would wake up. It's just like, oh, this person would never commit suicide or anything like that, and it's just like, oh, the one person that you think never would like does, and then that's your life now, and it's the same way where it's just like, this is your life, and now I constantly think about like. Where he would be in our lives if he were here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny. Before he had passed away, I wasn't even dating this girl. Hopefully my fiance doesn't hear this. I was dating this girl, and I was telling him about her, where I was like, oh, like this thing's really, you know, we're kind of like hanging out, this and this, and he was like, oh man, don't worry about it, you know, she'll do her thing, you'll do your thing, it's whatever. I was like, all right, cool, like, oh, I'm fucking like, I'm an adult now, like, I'm not gonna listen to anything you fucking say, and I was like, whatever. Sure enough, like, everything was like, oh yeah, you know, she's gonna fucking do you, like, nah, you know, she's gonna fucking ignore you like this. It's gonna happen like this. And I was like, oh, that's stupid. Ha 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 ha. Sure enough, it happens. I'm like, fuck, it'll do. And he passed away, and I was like, oh, fuck, he was definitely right. And now that I'm like with someone, that I'm like, oh, fuck, we're getting married. And I'm like, dude, not even that I mean, he would like her on sure circumstance that I like her, but he won't get to fucking talk shit on her like he has the rest of my like girlfriends that have like come through. So it's like, dude, where are you when I really just need you to have fun, you know?
Right.
So it's crazy, man. Like it's changed my outlook on so much, and I think like getting married, I think, is so much more fun, and I'm so much more excited, and it's coming up quick, and like I'm just excited to get into it.
Yeah, dude.
Because it was something that he never got to experience, whether he wanted it or not. Like, he'll get to be there though. So
You're taking him with you?
Yeah, we have his ashes at my parents' house, where my sister is gonna walk him down.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So he'll be the third man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
He would have been best man, but it is what it is.
Right.
But yeah, my sister gets to walk him down. I applaud her. I don't. So like I gave her this task, and I was like, hey, you know, this is what I'm thinking. She was like, oh yes, like, you know, Like, I appreciate it. Like, thank you for giving me the honor. But, like, I think about her carrying the urn down the aisle, you know, as everyone's coming down. And I'm like, dude, that's heavy.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't think it's hitting her because my sisters in general, emotional fucking wrecks. I'm like slightly emotional to where I'm like, yeah, you know, I'll be all right. Like, you guys are crying. I'm like, oof. Y'all all right? Y'all good? All right, cool. But, like, my sisters will fucking cry at anything.
Yeah.
So my sister was like, oh, you know, like, I got it, you know, I'll walk him down the aisle.
Which sister?
Cassie, my little sister.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. In my head, I'm like, dude, I want to cry thinking about it.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm going to crash away.
100%.
It's going to happen.
So I'm like, dude, I can only imagine, like, the severity of, like, actually doing it. Like, watching it, I'm like, this is fucking sad. But actually doing it, I'm like, this is fucking tough. But we'll see, man, on Tuesday. We'll see on Tuesday.
Everyone's going to be more drunk than I could ever imagine.
I've been
Except
told.
you.
I've been told I'm not allowed to do shots, so.
I mean, you could still get pretty fucked up on beer.
Watch me. No, I've been told I can't do shots. Sarah's like, I want to enjoy our wedding night. And I'm like,
thank Christ, because the less shots you do, the less shots I have to do.
Yeah, dude. So, you ever feel yourself getting older?
Yeah.
So, when I passed out on the wedding party, I felt myself get significantly older.
Yeah, dude, I turned 26 in a few weeks. Like,
you know, I was like, oh, I'm turning 26 too. You're not that much older than me.
I'm not. I just graduated a year ahead of you.
Yeah.
I got that.
What are we doing for your birthday?
I work.
You're gonna call off your work. What are we doing for your birthday? We'll get sushi. I'll treat you to sushi if you call off of work.
I don't have the PTO.
Just fucking call. You're sick. He's not sick. What?
All the coworkers on my Facebook. I will be there on my birthday. It's on a Monday too, so.
Oh, it's like right after. Yeah, it's a 3-day weekend. We'll get sushi during the day if it makes you sleep better at midday, light, whatever the fuck you do.
That's the last thing I need on a Monday, dude. Is to go into
all you
work
can
with
eat,
the sushi sushi
all you can
nuts.
eat, all you can drink. You're there. I'll pay for it too.
Fuck,
I'll cover it
on Sunday or Saturday.
It's gonna be on your birthday or no go.
Well, I'm now. See, now I want sushi.
Well then, here we are. Dude, I haven't been to sushi in so long.
Me neither.
It's only because I do all you can eat, all you can drink, and Sarah's like, "Are you sure, babe?" And I'm like, "I know what the fuck I'm about, Sarah." Drink Sapporo, eat way too much sushi.
I'm pretty sure the last time I got sushi was with you, Cody, and Sarah.
Honestly, it's my favorite. No one in... So, Cody is the best because he will encourage you to do literally everything. But it's also, he's the worst because he will encourage you to do literally everything. And I'm like, I love you, but at the same time, I'm way too drunk. And then Sarah looks at me and she's like... In her eyes, she's saying, are you really going to fucking keep drinking? And I'm like... Look in my eyes, and I'm saying no, but in my hand, I'm saying...
See, the one thing that I pride myself on is I've thrown up enough to the point to where I do not give into that shit anymore. I know when I'm at that level where I'm going to regret everything after.
Yeah, but memories are so fucking great.
Yeah.
Memories are great.
The worst part was at your wedding shower, it hit way too late. Like by the time
way too early.
By the time I stopped drinking, I was like, okay, cool, I'm good. And then it was just like molasses covering my body and significantly drunker. And so okay, cool, I'm just gonna start drinking water now. As I start drinking the water, I just feel myself starting to get hungover, and I'm like, nah.
No, thank you.
I don't need this in my life.
No, thank you. What song was Chief singing? Do Do you remember? He was like singing a song.
Fuck.
I've been trying to get Chief to do this for the longest.
Yeah. Part of me, like, Cody said something about Chief might not making it.
Yeah. I really hope. I was going to text him today and be like, put the pressure on him. There's not many people that I want there. Chief is definitely one of those people.
Dude, I would, like, there's a lot of shit. Like, we do not hang out the way that I wish we could. And 90% of that is my fault. But
you just got, like, legitimately, you just got a shitty schedule.
Yeah.
You know? But no, like, Chief, like, I've talked to and I've seen him enough to where I'm like a fucking week or a month, a couple weeks ago, he was like, dude, you didn't tell me it was on a Tuesday. I'm like, I fucking gave you an invitation. Like, you knew when it was. Fuck you. I've been trying to give you one, but no, like, he's known for so long, and like it finally set into like, oh, this is the day that it was, and it was just like, you have no excuse.
Date.
Yeah, dude.
Since like ever.
A year and a half ago, to be exact. 2 hours and 45 minutes later. I think it's time to wrap this up. Winona! Stop fucking drinking all the beer, dude. Jesus. God. It's been real.
It has been real.
It's been fun.
We talked about fucking everything.
Hasn't been real fun.
Damn.
We literally have talked about everything, though.
Right? We started about, like, our passions, then we went to, like, a movie segue, and then shit got deep.
Very deep.
Yeah.
And like I said, to kind of wrap it all up, dude, if you need the outlet to put it out, I'm there for you. Cold soup is there for you. You just got to use the catchphrase.
Oh, fuck that.
I knew it. I found it. I found it.
You will never hear me say those fucking
You'll be
words.
like, Judge, be like, yeah, cold soup. Coming in hot.
Nope. Never in a fucking million years.
But no, for real. If you want the outlet, I got you. I'm more than willing to help you out. I know we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, if you want to do stuff, I'm there.
Oh, dude,
I'm always there.
That's why this is happening tonight.
He's using me.
I'm 100% using him for his future fame. But if it ever comes down to it and you get super famous, I will not say the line to get on board.
You'd be like,
I will.
Ice cold comedy coming in hot. That was probably fucking up everything. But all right, man. Hey, fucking thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the beer.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
We'll finish up these last guys and then all that stuff.
That's how you end an episode.
That's how you end.